All right. We are live on YouTube. Let's post that in Discord. Let me just make sure we're live on YouTube. All right, we're live. Let's go. All right. Done. I don't know what I am anymore, and I was just playfully joking about her spans, but no offense. I'm sure. No, I didn't think you were being offensive or anything like that, Jake. She herself said that she should add. Oh, she should add so many spans, but she is span queen. Well, that's cool. Hopefully, she's having fun with it. What's up, Bones? How you doing, man? And happy Monday. It's a bright new week. Hey, man, recently started following you on my journey to become a developer. Awesome, man. How's the journey going for you? Is it Shujane? All right. All right, everything looks good. I think we're ready to share the screen. Let me make sure everything's good. I'm going to put Discord there. We're going to close the sound. Is everything good here? I have 15,000 tabs open here. What the? Hello? Why do I have all these tabs open? Go away. What is this? Go away. Let's load up Boot.dev and get rolling. So, Lane made a change. All right, we good? We're finally good. Let's get rolling. Let's go. Also, I think I'm more into ML, AI, and systems, so I'm going this way. I think that is why something clicked. Okay, gotcha. It seems like something's clicking and you keep changing your mind, or are you going in the same direction, or what? Seems like you get excited about something new every day. All right, so Lay made a change, and we finished this. I actually double-checked, but we did finish this, and now it says we haven't. So Lane made an update to some of this stuff. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'm going to finish it. Not now. I think I'm going to finish the Python stuff and then come back to this. I don't really care about the updates. I don't know if we're going to have to... I don't know what this is even checking for. Contains... Bookbot, I guess we could finish some of this stuff. I don't know if I want to. I'm going to be honest. So we have book data. Copy and paste, add books directory to your git ignore. Don't want to save the entire book. And then standard out to contain all of Frankenstein's. I don't know if did we do this? I'm kind of annoyed that this updated like right as we finished it. We should finish it. What's up, Brandon? How you doing? You on Windows, Mac, or Linux? I am on Mac. My plan for tomorrow is learn PyTorch for deep learning. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Well, at least you're excited. All right, let's finish this. Let's do it. Why not? Book. All right, so I'll just go through the lessons that we haven't finished yet, and then we'll jump in. We'll finish this before like the first hour is up in this stream, and then I'll probably jump into the OOP stuff. later. All right, where are we with this? We're going to go setup. Let's go first commit. We do, hold on. Okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't leaking another project like someone I mentor. We're not going to install the recommended Python extension. Nope. Fuck it. Going YOLO. Man, I wish I was that excited. I'm working on new stuff. Why aren't you excited? Hey, by the way, is the audio matching the video? Like when I talk, does it line up? Because it wasn't lining up on Friday, and I think it's because of the game we were playing. So I'm wondering now, do my words line up? Audio seems fine. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Bones. Appreciate that. Yeah, why don't you get excited, Brandon? Burned out? Oh, burned out. Gotcha. Stop learning, start building. Are you currently trying to become a developer? And you've just been learning so much? Thank you, James. James or Jamie? A bookmark manager extension? Okay. Okay. You've just been at it for a while. I gotcha. I mean, like, told you on one of my streams, my issue is that I'm jumping from one thing into another. Yeah, but since I'm talking with my friend about this AI business, I'm diving into this full time. I was trying that, but you know, it's harder since there's a lot of math, and degree for ML is very important, so I didn't do it. I was sticking with web dev even if I didn't enjoy it. Gotcha. So are you going for a degree to get into machine learning? And stop for a bit? Oh, okay. There's so much documentation to read on MDN. Yeah, I mean, like, you could go through documentation. You can go through a course. It just... yeah, it's a lot of lookup. Yeah, well, I hope you... well, I do hope you find that enjoyment in learning again and building and stuff like that. If you need a little bit of a break, take it. Hopefully it wasn't like a month or two of a break, but... all right, so we are... README. Bookbot is my first project. README contains... Okay, let me just read this. I'll go through it again. Really? First commit? Damn it. All right. Git commits are used to save snapshots of your code at a specific point in time. Each commit should represent a single logical change to your code base. For example, commit might add a new feature, fix a new bug, rework a bit of your code to be more readable. I usually make 2 to 3 commits per hour. We read all this, right? Let's commit your README change. But our README doesn't have a link. So we got to go back. That's kind of annoying. Okay. So it's going to be looking for this. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm going to be honest. I really... am I going to learn... Here's the thing. Am I going to learn anything new with this? Book data. I'm going to be honest. No. I want to skip this. Yeah, fuck it. No, we finished this. Fuck it. We're going to OOP. I don't care. We might come back to this at some point. We're going to OOP. Yeah, screw it. We're not doing that. What is object-oriented programming? I still enjoy programming, been enjoying reading an article about a collaborative text editor. I want to apply that, but my brain has been fried for a week, has it? Gotcha. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of learning. A lot of learning. I'm starting a degree in March, industrial software engineering. Then I plan to do master's in. Oh yeah, that's right, the master's in ML. Okay. Also had a bad reason for coding money. I was always passionate about more sciencey stuff, and I realized that I want this more. Okay, cool. So you're pursuing something that sounds more enjoyable to you. Yeah, I see it. March. Yeah, but okay, gotcha. So it sounds like you didn't really like coding that much. Like, you probably kind of went the backends route, I think, and you didn't really enjoy it that much. Now you're pursuing something that you do enjoy, and that's good. All right. Object-oriented programming, or OOP, is a pattern for writing clean and maintainable code. Not everyone agrees that object-oriented principles are the best way to write code, but to be a good engineer, you should at least understand them. In this course, we'll be coding the pieces of a real-time strategy game called Age of Dragons. Players control armies of people, elves, orcs, and dragons, and battle each other. It's similar to Age of Empires or StarCraft. One of the greatest sins when writing or trying to write clean code is using misleading names for your variables and functions. Okay, so if we're learning Python, I bet you we could toss this. Okay, so one of the greatest sins when trying to write clean code is using misleading names for your variables and functions. Take a look at destroy wall function. Based on its name, you might assume that it destroys a single wall, but if you look closely, you'll see that it handles multiple walls. Ooh. The test suite expects a different function name. Take a look at main test file to see what it's looking for and rename the function accordingly. Additionally, try to rename the variable inside the function to be more descriptive. After passing the test, take a look at the solution to see how we named everything. All right. There is... Okay, we are going to do accept the second one and see if we can achieve this in this lesson. All right, so what are we doing? Let's go main PyTest walls. So it's going to be plural, I figured. And then for WN wall health, I mean, destroy multiple walls. Do we do like walls health? I mean, like, destroy... How is it... So we only have one wall health we pass into it. Into destroy walls, which is supposed to destroy multiple walls. I guess if the health goes over a certain amount, you would consider that as destroying multiple walls. Walls, health. Walls, health, return walls, health. We probably broke it. Okay. Gotcha, not web dev. What's up, Frozen? How you doing? Happy Monday to you as well. Run past. Okay. Submit. All right, there we go. Clean code. Paradigms like object-oriented programming and functional programming are all about making code easier to work with and understand as the feeble humans we are. Code that's easy for humans to understand is called clean code. Any fool can write code that a computer can understand. Good programmers write code that humans can understand. Clean code does not make your programs run faster, make your programs function correctly, only occur in object-oriented programming. Clean code does make code easier to work with, make it easier to find and fix bugs, make the development process faster, help us retain our sanity. Where's the sanity? No sanity option. It's a pretty good quote, isn't it, Glaximos? I like it too. I'm following the same course with you and loving it so far. What do you think of Python so far? I like it. I like writing Python. I think I like writing Python a little bit better than writing JavaScript. I don't necessarily like working with Python more, but I like writing it. I think it's more readable. But yeah, essentially, the scope thing is kind of weird. It doesn't really stay consistent with other patterns in other languages. And that scope kind of leaks a bit. But other than that, like, it's pretty readable language. I like that about Python. And we are going to be building something with Django. Where are you at, Glaximos, in the course? By the way, if you are on YouTube, you see me like doing this. I'm not crazy. There's this music on Twitch that you can hear, but on YouTube, no music. Primary goal of OOP is to right cleaner, cool, objectify people. Dry code. Another rule of thumb for writing maintainable code is don't repeat yourself. Dry just means that when possible, you should avoid writing the same code in multiple places. Repeating code can be bad because if you need to change it, you have to change it in multiple places. If you forget to change it in one place, you'll have a bug. It's more work to write it over and over again. So I'm a big believer that you teach people dry from the very beginning, and then you teach them dry doesn't always apply later on. I don't think explaining to like a junior, which, you know, Lane is doing. I don't think explaining to junior dev that like dry is, you know, kind of a way of doing things that doesn't need to be applied to everything like early on is a good idea. I like the idea of teaching concepts and then saying, you know what, I kind of lied to you a little bit and let me explain where this doesn't apply. I think that's a really good approach. Because a lot of junior devs don't really have that extra context, and it's just one more thing for them to remember, you know? Assignment. Your manager noticed that there's a lot of repetitive code in the Age of Dragons code base. She asked you to update the fight soldiers function so that the DPS, damage per second calculation, is only written once. Notice how these two lines are practically identical. Create a new function called getSoldierDPS. It takes a soldier and returns its DPS using the same logic as the lines above. Then replace the two lines above with calls to... wait, I'm just reading and not comprehending. Create a new function called getSoldierDPS. Okay. Takes a soldier and returns its DPS using the same logic as the lines above. Okay. Then replace the two lines above with the calls to getSoldierDPS. Okay, got it. Let's define, what was it called? Get soldier, soldier DPS. And it takes a soldier. You ever just have that like one word that you keep misspelling over and over? That's like Solider for me. I'm surprised I actually got it right there. All right, so you have a soldier. What are we doing? We are multiplying. Okay. Return soldier damage times soldier attacks per second. I think Nightbot just like played, it switched to a different song. Did you guys hear that? Wait, what are we doing? How do we get soldier? Create a new function, get soldier DPS. That takes a soldier and returns its DPS using the same logic as the lines above, then replace the 2 lines above with the calls to get soldier DPS. But where do we get soldier? Soldier 1. Oh, we get... Got it. I see. We are assuming we just have it. Right? I mean, like... What am I passing in here? We don't have soldier. Fight soldiers. Returns both soldiers die. Are we creating like I'm confused. Oh, the fight soldier. Oh, it's literally in here. Oh, I'm okay. I probably should read what's in the function. Okay. So we have get soldier DPS. There we go. Let's go. I just finished functions and getting it a scope. Okay, so you're on the Python portion. I gotcha. Although I can't submit anymore due to the free version. Oh, okay, you're going through the free version. Okay. It's pretty cool how you can still go through it, right? You still have the material. What's up, Renee? Not a lot, man. Life's good. How are you doing? Tanuks Day. What's up? How's it going? Got the whole crew here. The same with from always becomes form. Do we all have that word of ours, you know? Not in music category. No, apparently not. Are you learning through Boot because you're sponsored of you helping the noob needs? Yeah. Well, I do think it's a good course. I've heard really good things about it. I created a video saying I'm quitting front end for back end. And well, like I don't know Python, so it's a pretty good course. There is some overlap of what I know. Which I don't mind if I'm going to stream it and we can talk about it together and we can learn together. So would I still go through Boot.dev if I wasn't streaming it? I don't know. I really don't know. I would because I did want to check it out as an affiliate partner and go a bit deeper into it. I don't know. I haven't thought about, like, yeah, would I go through it if I wasn't streaming it? I don't know. But yeah, main reasons, I do want to learn backend. I want to get better with it. And we're going to have some overlap with things I know, and that's okay. I'm not going through the JavaScript section. Fuck that. But Lane did say, I believe, that he's releasing a TypeScript version, which I would love to go through. But yeah, affiliate stuff. What's up, Zinka? How you doing? Does Scrimba have a Python course? I love their teaching method. Yeah, I like their teaching too. I don't think they have a Python. They're coming out with, so I think next. I don't know if they released that. I thought they did already. And then they're diving into Node.js stuff. So I don't think they're doing Python, but I could see them going into the Node realm. Yeah, you got it, Jake. Good, the Game Boy ready to put a game on it? Hell yeah, let's go. Game Boy is all prepped up. That's cool. That's gotta feel good. Sounds like a milestone. Jake was giving you crap, apparently, for like your ton of nested spans or whatever. That's what he told me. Scrimba has Python. Scrimba has Python? Do they? What? Scrimba's taking a second. Python. Are you sure? They do. Oh, they do have a Python course. That's interesting. Huh. I didn't know that. When was that released? Yeah, I guess they do. Yeah, I made Spaghetti. Nice. Yeah, when you're kind of like trying to create art with CSS, it gets a little bit messy. Let's go. Yes, I know what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the day. Oh, you're going to Scrimba with the Python stuff? Yeah, I like Scrimba's teaching style more than Boot.dev. I mean, it's video, it's interactive. Um, I don't care. Like, again, I don't care about the gamified stuff. But if you are going to learn backend, I bet you that Lane goes deeper into the Python stuff here. So if you are really serious about getting good with Python, I would go through the boot.dev stuff. If you kind of just want to learn the basics of it, then Scrimba's probably going to be fine. Yeah, it did seem like they're going a little bit deeper with boot.dev. I could be wrong. Did I already closed it. I would have to check again, but I don't know if I saw object-oriented stuff, and that's kind of what we're already going into. All right, let me make one adjustment. All right, did that autosave? It did. Okay, cool. I saw they made the JS course more extensive. Yeah, I haven't looked into it. I want to see the TypeScript one. Let me just look at it real quick. Their JavaScript section was very much lacking. This is okay. This is some cool stuff. If we enter course, how deep do they go into the prototype chains? Okay. This is good. You don't see this a lot in front-end courses. Okay, so prototype chain, they go into maps and sets. You don't see these a lot. Promises, how deep do they go? Await, async, then await. Why promises? They don't go deep into promises. Okay, so you're creating a new custom promise. Okay. I would like to see a little bit more work with promises. That's a really tricky thing for people. The event loop is awesome. Non-blocking call, stack task queue, micro task queue, and concurrency. Yeah, this is good. This is not that common in courses. Runtimes, npm. I mean, yeah, even like front end should go over stuff like this a little bit more. I'm surprised Boot.dev is. And then modules, yes, and again, like, this is pretty good. Bundlers. Yeah, I think they're going a bit deeper. I think Scrimba still... Maybe we should go through this. I don't know. Just to check it out. But it wouldn't be for like a year. Whenever we get to this. It'd be a while. All right, I just want to check it out real quick. Cool. Hopefully they go further. It'd be cool to see that. How'd your stream go, by the way, Zinka? Yeah, it'd be cool to see them build on the JavaScript and dive deep into Node. I know Lane probably doesn't want to, and Lane probably is under the impression that Node should not be used for backend at all. I wouldn't be surprised if he believed that. But it would make backend developers more marketable for sure, 100%. There are enough Node positions where there's enough Node positions that's beginner friendly, or I would say like entry level friendly, that'll hire people that have no professional experience. I'm surprised he hasn't expanded on that. I definitely only want to learn backend. Honestly, Glex, Boot.dev is probably the way to go, man. It depends how deep you want to go, but like Boot.dev is going to be way deeper than Scrimba. And they have like people that are passionate in backend. Scrimba is just expanding. Scrimba is like probably just fulfilling requested stuff from their audience, but they're just expanding at this point. Like Lane specifically wants to make a really, really good backend program. There's more in the front end that Scrimba should be expanding towards, and they're not. So I'm wondering in a year how Scrimba is going to be. I would like to see them expand in the required material more into testing. I think Next is actually an interesting choice that probably should be under required and replace the Fires, or not replace it, but give people an alternative to the Firestore stuff. I don't know. I did a whole video on this. I think they should expand more in the front end, but they're expanding in different directions. It is. I barely understand promises and yeah, they're tricky, man. They are tricky. It went well, thank you. I owe Nan a few raids, so I sent them her way this week. Oh, nice. Nice. I'm just glad I'm learning again. I got to a point in the past where it got too difficult and I quit for a while. Oh, really? Are you building stuff with what you're learning? Diving back into Python since it's the language. Okay, machine learning, AI. Okay, now you like Python. Node has some good use case for the backend, but I agree with Lane that it would not be the best overall option. I mean, it's just extremely popular, and it's here to stay. So you can argue that it's not the best option, but it doesn't mean you're really setting aspiring backend developers up for success with that belief, and like having that belief limit the courses that you're going to be teaching in your program. Yeah. But I also think it's tainted with just like a dislike for JavaScript. That's my assumption too. Oh, okay, you're making a text adventure game. That's pretty cool. What's up, Ram? Does watching old live streams on Twitch give you sprouts? No, it doesn't. What's up, Tuba? It's good to see you. It's been a while. But no, it does not. Node is not the best option, but most JS on the back end is Node. Well, best for what? I think that generic statement is just false. I mean, it's just flat out false. Best for what? There are pros and cons to it, and if you go into this like with this generic opinion that Node is just bad overall, like that's an inaccurate opinion. Or it's an opinion, it's inaccurate, that's false. So this just perpetuating that just Node is bad, you should never build anything on the back end for Node is just false. By going deeper into promises, do you mean going through the methods and properties inside the promise implementation? No, building stuff with it. Like we built something with like just building custom promises a little bit more. I remember building a promise library in my coding bootcamp a long time ago when the bar was much lower, right? And we built our own promise library to understand how promise libraries kind of worked. We just built our own, and we had to not use any, promise libraries to do that. We had to build our own. So that really helped us understand promises. Never said that it is bad. I said that it is not the best because there is no best. Jake, that seems like a gaslighty thing to say. What? Um, I never said that it is bad. I said that it is not the best. And that's fine, but because there's no best option, like that's like a weird gaslighty thing to say. I don't know like what your intentions are with that. But it can be the best option. For certain situations, any language, any framework can be, depending on what you're building. I think you're just saying a bunch of like, you're not really saying much of anything at this point. I think you're just arguing to argue. I don't like this language, frameworks, etc. supremacy. I'm not really sure where you're going with that. My opinion is mainly based on the performance, and that Node has limitations on servers due to garbage collection and single-threaded nature. However, it does excel in serverless as it is short-lived there and may not run long enough for the JS to slow down. But there's still outside, like, it doesn't need to be the fastest to be better for an application. What? Just because it's slower because of garbage collection and it's a bit of an abstraction, it's a higher level language. Why is the only thing being compared speed? I think that's a really limiting perspective. Gotcha. I thought that's what they did, building their own implementation of Promise. Doing that made me understand it a bit more. That's what Woot did. It didn't look like they were building that. It just looked like, if you go back to my stream, I think we just saw them build a custom promise. That's not building a promise library and using that to build a library. I think just building a custom promise, yeah, you should at least do that. But we can expand on that. I don't think that's what Boot.dev did. Yeah, I don't think so. All right. We finished this. I don't know if we submitted it. Yeah, we submitted it. All right, try code. Take a look at the code we wrote. We started with this. Soldier 1 DPS, soldier 1 damage. Okay, and refactored the code to look like this. Get soldier DPS, return, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So don't repeat yourself. We don't want too much of our code doing the same thing. When code is duplicated, it leads to many potential problems. In our example, let's pretend the soldier dictionary changed. And now the key that stores the damage value is called damage. In the first example, we would need to update the two lines of code. In the second example, we only need to make the change in one place. It's not a big deal when two lines are the same and exist right next to each other. However, imagine if we had done this several hundred times in 10 or 20 different code files. All of a sudden, it makes a lot of sense to stop repeating yourself and write more reusable functions. We call that dry code. All right, don't repeat yourself. Let's go. Dry code does not make your code run faster. A class is a special type of value. Here we go. We're getting into classes. Ooh, this one's pretty long. Damn. A class is a special type of value in an object-oriented programming language like Python. It's similar to a dictionary in that it usually stores other types inside itself. All right. Defines a new class called soldier. Cool. Just like a string, integer, float, a class is a type, but instead of being a built-in type, your classes are custom types that you define. An object is just an instance of a class type. Okay. For example, health equals 50. Health is an instance of an integer type. Aragorn equals soldier. Aragorn is an instance of the soldier type class. Classes are new or are custom new types that we define as the programmer. Each new instance of a class is an object. Okay, cool. Create a class called wall. On line 1, it should have a property called armor. On line... Oh, on line 1. Okay, it should have a property called armor. 10 and a height 5. Oh, we're not JavaScript. All right, let's go. I'm saying that it's not like node or bun or denote or anything is the best option, and you should only use this or that. As you said, Node is so established that it is not going away anytime soon. If someone wants to use JS on the server and use Node, then it's fine. I don't know what you're saying, Jake. What? I'm saying that it's not like Node or anything is the best option. You should only... the way you're wording it, Jake, I just don't know what you're saying. Node can be the best option for you. It depends on your team. Depends on what they know. It depends on... Like, I don't really know what you're talking about, Jake. Is this like...
I hope you've been well.
I hope you've been well.
I forgot to fix that. I have been. I appreciate the sub. 6 months, damn. You're at that milestone. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Thanks for the sub. How have you been? Achievement acquired, confused, done, nice. Done, yeah. I guess, like, what I don't even know what point you're trying to make, Jake. Like, can you just... I don't know, because we were talking about, like, how Node is... you said Node is not the best option, which implies that there are best options. And then you kind of gaslit into saying, like, oh, but nothing is the best option. I think, like, you're not really contributing to a constructive conversation there. So Jake, I don't even know what you're trying to get at this point. Doing well, been really busy with my internship recently, otherwise having a good time, playing a lot of Counter-Strike and my free time. I never could get into Counter-Strike. Got into it a long, long time ago when it first came out, but... Oh, what's that game that's like a mix of Overwatch and Counter-Strike together? I forgot that game. I don't know if I would... I think I would enjoy Counter-Strike more, actually. I don't know. That's cool. Glad you've been doing well. I'm glad the internship is keeping you busy. Valorant. Thank you, 6Js. That's what it is. Valorant. I wonder if I would like Valorant. I think I tried it like once. I didn't really like it, but maybe that's because I sucked. Gotcha. I thought, let's see. Probably similar to the just use React saying, like, React is not the best option, but it would be used regardless. But that implies that there is a best option. Brandon, that's not what he's saying, because he actually gaslit a bit and said, oh, no, there is no best option. But what you're saying, Brandon, is there's a better option. And I'm saying React can be the better option. It can be the best option, depending on your team and the requirements and what you're trying to build. So I think what you're implying is very different than what he was implying. I think what you're implying is what he started out implying, and then he switched it. Valorant or Marvel Rivals? I was definitely talking about Valorant, but I've heard, like, a lot of people seem to be really loving Marvel Rivals. It looked kind of fun. Played Overwatch this weekend. It was okay, but I'm kind of bored of Overwatch. Counter-Strike is fun, but the fact they don't want to go kernel level with anti-cheat, the fact that they don't want to, makes it impossible to deal with cheaters. Isn't that the issue a lot of people had with Valorant? Is because it was too low level, people weren't comfortable with it. I've never encountered cheaters on Counter-Strike the few times that I played, but they might exist. I haven't played that game enough. People should just code what they want to, using what they want to, unless they are being paid to use something else. And I think it's fine to do that for a personal project, but I think it's still worth having the conversation of like, with Node, you're going to hit these limitations, right? I think we should go deeper. Even in a personal project, you should understand the limitations of what you're doing. I'm not saying that you should be blocked from using it, but I think a lot of people do kind of just go off a preference, and I think educating them at least like, here's the limitations with this, and like, I wouldn't say at like a very, very junior level, you're going to go over this stuff, but I think that conversation of like the limitations that you're going to hit with this, even just talking about the ecosystem, the speed, just like the community around it, a lot of the conventions around it, the types of people that are going to be Python developers versus like no JavaScript developers working with Node are actually pretty different people. You start seeing similarities in people that prefer these ecosystems, which is kind of interesting. But I still think it's worth having that conversation. You should be able to build something if you want to do it. Like if people are just like, and you do get backend developers like that'll just flat out say like, if you build something with Node.js, you're a bad software engineer. Like those are just, their opinion doesn't matter. It just doesn't. They're obnoxious. There are people that take it to the extreme for sure. As kernel developer, strongly against third-party. Oh, K-level software. Okay. Why do you advise against it, Captain? If you missed the good old days, Overwatch, I found the Season 1 Golden Age feeling to be similar to current state Marvel Rival. Oh, really? I don't know if I would buy the game, though. If I had it already, I would play it. But yeah, I don't know if I'd buy it. I'd probably have fun with it. I'm not like getting into like any serious gaming lately. I'm trying to get more into coding when I have free time. I don't want to. You know what I would do? I'd play World of Warcraft hardcore. That's exactly what I would play. But that's why I just kind of play small games on Friday so I don't get too invested into it. I'm too dumb to understand why we should use one thing or another, so those are problems for other people. I don't think so. I think if you're into CSS, like we can get outside the JavaScript realm. Like if you really love CSS and you want to double down to that area, like I think understanding what you like and don't like about Tailwind is kind of getting into that realm, right? Or like maybe you want to use style components. Maybe you want to use SCSS. Build little SCSS methods. I think like there's that area of things in CSS that you could dive into that maybe you would be interested in. They mostly don't want to do it, so the game will be supported on Linux. Oh, okay. Why? Marvel Rivals is... Oh, it's free! Oh, really? I might try that next weekend. You just play the Final Fantasy most of the time? I see that pop up in Discord. Yeah, I see like Zinka's playing Final Fantasy. Oh, I also noticed you like... Because we have the activity feed on Discord. But I had a question. If I look at your profile, it says the only peace I seek is death. And that changes. I noticed like that changes. I've looked at your profile like a few times over the past months, and it changes. Why? Are you getting it from like an anime? Playing games makes me want to code. Really, I think I zone out when playing games and start thinking through what I've been learning. Really? That's interesting. Huh. My opinion is that I don't like that there is something like the best option. My statement was Node is not the best option, but most JS in the back end is Node. So like you said, Don, it will not go away. Then I try to clarify that it's because I don't think there is the best option. That's because I think that people should choose what works for their own specific needs, but any option they choose will have its own drawbacks. I think there's always a best. Then I just flat out disagree with you, Jake. I think there's always a best option. If that's like the route you're going with, then maybe the implications are different because now you're clarifying and you're adding context, and I appreciate that. Then I think I just completely disagree with you. But thank you for clarifying. You might like some of the CSS stuff. And you know what, Zinka? You could talk about it. Like, you're the CSS chick, right? You're diving deep into it. You obviously don't like JavaScript that much. So, like, you're diving deep into CSS, and now you can learn, like, the ecosystem and everything. And, like, you could become another... who's a CSS guru? Dude, I don't remember names. I'm so bad with names. It's not Kent Dodds or whatever his name is. It's, you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. Who am I talking about? If you were to build a WoW add-on, what would it do? It would track your gold buying, or not gold buying, your gold making. It would probably, I wanted to build something a long time ago, but it would track like different strategies of gold per hour, and it would track that through the items that you would loot, and it would probably have some link to like auction house data and stuff like that. Kevin Powell, that's it. You could be the Kevin Powell of CSS one day. Because most third-party K-level software has minimal implementation of first-party driver and then loads its third-party software. Also note that first and third-party are from perspective of OS kernel. I don't think I know enough to understand what you're saying, but I appreciate you trying to explain it to me. Changes on my mood, and yes, they're often anime. Oh, changes on your mood. The current one is LOL. What is LOL? Okay, I figured it was quotes, and they would change based off of, yeah, I figured that. My intention was not to gaslight anyone. I'm sorry if you felt that way. English is not my first language. Okay. When I said gaslight, I guess I didn't mean that with ill intent. Maybe gaslighting is a strong word. Gaslighting is probably just the incorrect word, not necessarily a strong word. But more along the lines of you were switching kind of your opinion or whatever. But either way, I do understand, like, with you clarifying. No worries, man. No worries. I didn't feel any, like, bad intention with it or something like that. Maybe I could have used a different word than gaslight. But yeah, I do think we kind of fundamentally disagree on that. But I think, like, there's no best solution without a ton of other context. Again, around, like, the requirements of your project and the team you're working with and blah, blah. Like, there's a ton of requirements that are going to add up where you could kind of, like, consolidate on a best project. Is it going to be perfect? No, but it could still be the best, given your situation. We probably just, like, fundamentally disagree, but I remember you mentioning some, like, the, what were your words? It was like, superiority or stuff like that. I do think that is trash. And I do think there are people that do feel that way about certain languages, that their backend is superior. And I think it's just like a really bad opinion. I do agree with you on that one. Also, I think that we can disagree. So yeah, for sure. I value and respect your opinion very much because your content helped me realize things I'm doing that are making me into a bad program. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, disagreeing. That's it. No big. I wish more communities would, like, just, you know, it's okay to. This is why I'm like. I mean, if I disagree with something, I just say it, right? Some people take it personally. I don't care. Like, some people, honestly, I think some people need to disagree more often in their lives. I think there are, and this is one thing I realized a long time ago about myself. And when I was a professional developer, I did not speak up. I did not disagree that often. And there were so many times where I should have. But I do think that in the programming community, more people need to kind of disagree constructively in a positive manner, and just so they're used to it. Because I think so many people take it personally when you disagree. I've literally had, like, a streamer, I'm not going to name him, but it was like an echo chamber. They had like a really strong opinion about like TikTok, and like I had like 3 or 4 people disagreeing with me. No one agreed with me, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna explain my opinions. And then like they were getting upset, and they're just like, because I was just disagreeing with them. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to engage with like all fuller of you. I got a lot of arguments to make. And then they would like provide an argument. I'd provide a counter argument. And they would just be like, oh, well, like you just seem like you're here to stir up trouble or whatever. I'm like, no. Like I was actually enjoying it because I was like, oh, I didn't really expect you to have this perspective of TikTok. I think it's wrong. Here's why I think it's wrong, but I kind of get where you're coming from. But like, this is in programming communities. I feel like programming communities kind of like, it doesn't even have to be about software engineering or programming. I think some people are just like way too sensitive and take disagreement really personally, which is why I disagree with anything that I disagree with. I'm just candid and vocal about it because when you are that way, you just get used to it. You don't take it personally. I think sometimes software engineers take disagreement way too personally. I think it's fun. League of Legends. You play League of Legends, Zinka? What's up, Anonymous? I have no idea what we're talking about. I have a Warhammer quote in my description. I can't be mad. I saw the new Warhammer. That looked really good, the trailer. Disagreeing with Don is one of my favorite things to do. When's that deadline for you, Anonymous? It's not just software engineers, LOL. That's probably fair. I guess I talk to a lot of software engineers, and maybe I just mainly talk to software engineers and coders and stuff like that. I think it just matters that you have good intention. Like you're at least trying to listen to the person. I'm not saying I'm the best at that all the time, but I think like you can kind of tell when someone is like bad intention and they're just trying to like it's their only message in chat and they're just being a contrarian. I do think, some people will try to do that. They're not really engaging in a genuine way. But doing all right. Glad to hear it. I do not play League, but my brother and husband do. Oh, really? And you took the quote from League when you don't play it. Yeah, people have strong opinions, but some are only looking for validation of those opinions, and anyone that disagree with them is not worth talking to. Yeah. A lot of people are just looking for validation of what they already believe. I agree with that. Do you have a method for getting familiar with someone else's project, GitHub repos? I will install it locally and I'll play around with it and I'll try to break stuff. Like if I got to build a feature, I got to fix a bug, I kind of like, usually there's going to be a little context of like what's going on. Like if I started a new company and I usually start with bug fixes, I'll usually get it set up locally, get it working, running, and then kind of go to the general area where this bug is occurring. Like I'll at least have I'll know what the bug is, and then I'll kind of search the code base for that area and I'll kind of dig into it and I'll just edit some stuff locally until I figure it out. But I think like getting comfortable with someone's code base, I think it helps to have a plan, a mission, or like a task, and have context of what you're looking up. Because just trying to go through someone's code base and look at the entire thing and get as much exposure as possible, I think you're going to forget a lot of that. So I think like having a task going into a code base is a really healthy way of starting out. Don't really have a deadline. It's been on and off. With projects and trying to find ways to prepare myself for interviews. Oh, okay. I thought you had a deadline for like some financial assistance or something like that you told me. Like you had a deadline for the applications to get into a certain program or something like that. I can still like the characters even if I don't play it. Jeez, gatekeep much. You know what? How dare you? Those League players go through a tremendous amount of depression and self-hate. And they alone can talk about League of Legends. And you're going to skip all of that self-loathing and self-hate and think that you can just steal one of their quotes? How dare you? Arcane was good. I didn't like Season 2. I like Season 1. I think Season 2 sucked. What do you guys think about Season 2 of Arcane? Yeah, the music stuff. Yep. That kind of made it weird. The government program I did apply. Oh, okay, so that one's a waiting game. That's probably what I'm thinking of. Okay, gotcha. As a fact, League of Legends players go through it. They do. I once destroyed my computer playing League. You always want to get that on videotape, you know? Like if you're streaming or something like that. I love watching compilations of League players just raging. I like watching League streamers if they get mad. If they are like pretty good and they don't get mad, like what's the point? Is that toxic? I feel like, I mean, yeah, it's kind of toxic, but like, why do you watch League streamers to see them like rage and, you know, lose it and clip it? Season 2 was not as good. I don't know what it was about Season 2. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't know if I care. Man, I don't know if it was a story or what. It just was not as good. Oh, you're at episode 7. Okay. Season 1 was really good for Arcane. Genuine mad, not streamer mad. Yeah, you could have streamers fake it sometimes. That's true. But, yeah. I smashed it with my fist. My hard drive went bye-bye. Oh, no. Being toxic sometimes is fun. Zinka is 100% a troll. But yes, you are right. I am, right? Like, it's fun to watch League players lose their shit. The fight choreography was pretty good, too. Season 1 was good with that. I'm on Season 2 of Severance. That show is something else. Yeah, Zinka recommended Severance to me, I think. I'm watching... what is that Office one? I'm watching it right now. I don't remember names. I gotta start remembering names. I just gotta put effort into it. What's up, Dewey? How you doing? I like watching players that are new to games, like Minecraft. Watching new players learn reminds me how it felt when I first tried. I was supposed to play Minecraft with my cousin. She never got back to me. Severance is good. All right, let's make a little bit of progress. Classes. Okay, we got a class. Submit. I think we already submitted. I'll keep going back and forth between chat and this. Methods. After the last exercises, you might be wondering why classes are useful. They're like dictionaries, but worse. One thing that makes classes cool is that we can define methods on them. A method is a function that's tied directly to a class and has access to all its properties. Cool. Looks like a normal method. Self. Methods are nested within the class declaration. Their first parameter is always the instance of the class that the method is being called on. By convention, it's called self. Because self is a reference to the object, you can use it to read and update the properties of the object. Oh, okay. Notice that methods are called directly on an object using the dot operator. Add fortify method to your wall class. It should double the current. Okay, so if I do like, okay, it should double self.armor times equals 2. Can we do that? Let's go. Hell yeah. I probably might watch Severance. I don't know. There are Walking Dead extensions that I want to check out too. A method is a function. Yeah, I'm lost already. Are you? A method is a function. Yeah, I guess those words are used interchangeably. Finish moving and finally set up my entire house. Damn, that's awesome, Dewey. Wait, when did you move? You might have mentioned that you were moving. I don't remember you moving. I really want to get back into gaming, but I know I'll be at it for like 5 to 8 hours. I would feel I shouldn't use the time. Then don't do it, Renee. It's not worth it. Yeah, if you can't do it casually, just don't do it. It really is not worth it. And as we're getting older, it's like, you know, we got more limited time. I mean, all of us are still like, I'd say almost all of us are still really young. You know, like under 40 for most of us. Really young. It's not like we don't have time. But, you know, our time is still limited. We got more responsibilities. So do you really want to go back to dumping that many hours into gaming again? I don't know. Maybe you do it for like a Sunday. But, you know, if it becomes a bad habit, maybe not. This past week. Okay. How did the move go, Dewey? I'm wasting so much time gaming. F that. I get zero value. I don't even enjoy gaming that much. If I really enjoyed it, maybe I would do it. But I do feel like it's a huge waste of time. I would rather read. I'm not even kidding. I feel way better. Like I have, what book am I reading now? I'm reading, I just started reading this, The Art of Focus by Dan Cow. I enjoy this more, honestly, than gaming. I like playing games with you guys. But yeah, I don't get into gaming too much anymore. Being unemployed is so freeing, and at the same time, boredom. Very true. What's up, Devon? It's interesting seeing what Python looks like. I'm not really into gaming anymore, but I was really into Guitar Hero. Yeah, Guitar Hero back in the day. That was like high school for me. That was a long time ago. I loved it. Guitar Hero is fun. But yeah, how you doing? Started replacing gaming with LeetCode, Code Forces. Hey, if you're enjoying it, man, got to do what you enjoy. Moving sucks. Definitely not moving again until my wife and I buy a place. Fair enough. Yeah, I think I get tired of moving. I used to like it when I was younger, but as I get older, I'm like, I don't want to do this. Methods return values. And a normal function, if a normal function doesn't return anything, it's typically not a very useful function. In contrast, methods often don't return anything explicitly because they can mutate the properties of the object instead. That's exactly what we did in the last assignment. However, they can return values if you want. They're just functions with access to an object after all. Okay. Add a getCost method to your wall class. What do you think it should return? GetCost. Probably armor. The cost of the wall is a product of its height and armor. Okay, fine. I thought it was like cost, like if we were attacking the wall, it would cost the wall its armor. All right. Self dot. Wait, no, we're just returning self dot armor times self dot height. Cool. You could be coding, Anonymous. I used to play games like Addict. My record was 20 hours straight, and I did it for like 2 months. I was in the middle schools, and man, now I would die if I tried. Damn. I used to play games that often. Like, I played World of Warcraft for that long, for sure. 100%. I'd pull all-nighters with friends and stuff like that. I miss those days, actually. I do. Those are good times. Yeah, I remember when World of Warcraft came out, or maybe it was a little past that. I'd spend time playing that instead of hang out with her. Like, I love that game so much. I would pull many all-nighters with that game. We have Clone Wars at the house and played on PC from time to time. Clone Wars. I don't think I've ever heard of that. I'm reading Code, the hidden language of computer hardware and software. It's starting off really well. Really? What's the what's kind of the like a one sentence summary of that? My max is 18 hours, and I was a teen. Now it's like 5 hours max. If I drink, I can play video games for a while. Long time. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Anonymous. You are coding nonstop. You're a machine. You play WoW too, thinking of uninstalling it, actually. If it's wasting your time, uninstall it. If I got it again, I would play hardcore. N64 is peak gaming. GoldenEye Split. Yep. Let's go. I remember that. I mean, those were good times, but it was not the best use of my time. Too bad I can see this as an adult. I don't know. I don't regret it one bit. I don't regret all the time that I put into World of Warcraft one bit. I actually don't. I don't think I'd be in software engineering at all. Like, at all. I think kind of gaming got me into coding. I'd be in a completely different spot now if some things differently when I was a teenager. Yeah, we all would, man. We all would. I played but you don't know that too. Could be in a worse spot. You don't know that. I played easily 10 hours Final Fantasy 16 this weekend, if not more. I had to stop myself and do something else multiple times. Damn. Don't let your community find that out, because I know they want more streams from you. And if you say that, they'll be like, so, you do have a little extra time, huh? That is when you understand older people to know install games and working computers. The temptation is so high. Yep. Yeah, don't install it on your work computer. You're not going to get anything done. And expect that stuff to be tracked anyways. A lot of all nighters with Halo 3 and RuneScape. I never got into RuneScape, but I feel like if I didn't get into World of Warcraft, I might have gotten into RuneScape or something like that. Like the old school RuneScape. I hear the new one isn't as good, though. But I think it's just nostalgia. It's like, you know, people that started with World of Warcraft, most of us don't really like retail. Some do. Most don't. We like the WoW Classic, right? It's probably the same thing. I was wondering how many games were made and wanting to change them that made me want to learn programming, and now I don't really want to make games. I dream of making a database to record shopping. That's how I started. I'm like, I want to make games, and then I didn't go the game route. That's how I started, too. I think that, like, that's a common programming start. LOL, yeah, I don't like that kind of pressure from people. I've been grinding for almost 3 months straight. I needed a break. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, you don't owe anyone even that stream, so I'm sure they appreciate that. I was just giving you a little bit of crap. But yeah, you got to take time out for yourself, for sure. For sure. We have 19 viewers on Twitch, and I've had no follows all stream. Do you guys hate me? There's no way we just have only people following here. Are we scaring all the new people away? I like how the book is trying to tie in simple concepts that many people understand into coding. Let's go. Evil 1987. Yo, thanks for the follow, man. Welcome. Oh shit. Starting coming now. K Naza, thanks for the follow, man. What? My horse is amazing. Ram, you weren't even following? Did you just get exposed? What? It is about enjoying whatever you're doing, Dewey. If you decide to play, enjoy it. Don't make yourself feel bad about spending the time. Like, if you're going to do something, go ham. I agree with that. I think it's easier said than done, for sure. At least for me. But I do agree with that. Factorio devs have a great long-running blog and all the intricate problems they run into and how they solve them. Okay, that's neat. Glad you're doing well, Devon. Made some tacos and working on React fundamentals. Damn, now that's a coding session. I could be dead. You know this tropes from sci-fi with time travel. You change one thing in the past and everything takes different. Yup. You could be. You don't know that. You'd be surprised though some people for real get mad. Do they? You have a lot of parasocial people. I chase away parasocial people. I think that's all it is. You do have a lot of people that like, yeah, you just have a lot of parasocial people in your community. Which is like how you build a strong audience, by the way. That's not a bad thing. I chase away like the super fans. I tend to. Because they like, here's the thing that like some streamers do really well that I don't do well with. I feel a need to respond to DMs. And I get annoyed when someone just constantly floods my DMs. And I'll tell them, like, stop spamming my DMs. And then they get upset. Where other streamers just ignore them. Look what we did. Yep. Ram unfollow just to follow. But if you unfollow just to follow, the notification won't pop up again. There's no way Ram did that. Because if you unfollow and then follow, I don't think the notification will pop up. Because I think it prevents it from like you doing that so you spam the follow notifications. I think Ram was not followed. Tacos always sound good. Yeah, parasocial gets dangerous. I have had some issues in the past, but right now it's fine, thankfully. That's good. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, you probably get like weirder messages than I do for sure. Kind of like weirder people. That's, one advantage of being a guy in this platform. Got a background in electrical engineering and computer. Self-taught. 5 years and was laid off in October. Been trying to find work since. I feel like I've had poor work experience and I'm struggling to find work. Sometimes it's not having enough tech skills in certain areas. Any advice? Double down on something, I guess. Like, what do you... or passing harder LC system design rounds? Like, for what position exactly? I know the web dev space pretty well, but I'm wondering if you're in a space where I can't really provide much help. But I think I'd want to know like what you're actually going for specifically and what your work specifically aligns you for or aligns with the skills required for that position that you're going for. But if you have skills to like job search in itself is kind of a whole thing, right? You might be presenting yourself poorly. Your self-branding might suck. You might not even be, making connections or anything. Like there's so much to analyze there. I would go through some of my videos that kind of touch on stuff like that, but like it could be a ton of stuff that you're screwing up. I don't know. But if your skill levels aren't really lining up, then study. Like for the system design stuff, have you flushed out any systems lately? You know what I mean? Like, is there any personal projects that you've like really focused on system design or scalability if that doesn't apply to your previous position? You are just giving ammo to people to mess with me? Yeah, I know. I get it. Whatever. If I don't, Zinka will. She'll clip things out of context and she'll give people ammo. Yeah, the notification doesn't play if you unfollow. Yeah, exactly. So Ram wasn't followed. Yeah, try toggling it. It doesn't work. Yep, he's been sneaky the whole time. One dude I blocked years ago, and he still sends me messages on new accounts he makes. Most recent one was a fort. That's crazy. Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? All right, well, Bones wasn't following. You didn't prove him right. Bones, all you proved was that you weren't following. Okay, shit. All right, I think I'm wrong on this one. Because I see a new notification popping up. Oh, wait, the notification didn't. Tuba's didn't. Wait, now? Was I right? So, Bones and Ram weren't following. Huh. Wow. Look at my horse is amazing. Yeah, Anonymous was definitely following. All right, I was wrong. That'd have been funny, though. Like, the only two people it popped up for were Bones and Ram. Oh, that would have been so funny. No one's loyal, that's right. Dude, look at all these people. They weren't even following before. We have, like, no loyal people here. Unbelievable. Methods versus functions. You know what a function is? A method has all the same properties as a function, but it is tied directly to a class and has access to all of its properties. A method automatically receives the object it was called on. Automatically receives the object it was called on as its first parameter. Okay. I guess I used it interchangeably with JavaScript. But a method on top of a class. Okay. So it always has self, which... So we don't get access to that? Why though? Exclude it. Like, should we not have access to self? And just pass in damage and multiplier? I don't like this about Python. Why do we need to pass in self? A method can operate on data that is contained within the class. In other words, you won't always see all the outputs in the return statement because a method might just mutate the object's properties directly. The OOP debate. Because methods are more explicit, some developers argue that functional programming is better than object-oriented programming. In reality, neither paradigm is better, and the best developers learn and understand both styles and use them as they see fit. For example, while methods are more implicit and often make code more difficult to understand, they also make it easier to group programs' data and behavior in one place, which is why I like it. I like classes, which can lead to a more organized code base. This is why I really love Nest. It's probably the main reason. Not the dependency injection or anything like that. I think it's really just kind of like grouping it based off the class. Well, I also like how different code is separated based off of the type, but which operates on an instance of a class, a method. Python syntax, indeed. I found out last week that self can be anything, including this. Is this a Python thing? Waiting for Don's ukulele apology video for accusing me of that. Okay. Hold up. I got you. Remember, you asked for this. All right, I think 3 times is enough. That's pretty good, wasn't it? What do you guys think of it? What's up, Jessa? How you doing? This is making me forget everything I learned in the past 2 hours. What the hell did I just listen to? Beauty. That was a thing of beauty. It was meant to be loud. Nice. Were you guys at? Oh, no, it was Zinka. Okay. It was Zinka with all the emojis. Zinka liked it. I think she secretly liked it. I don't think I can add that to my song list because I believe the artist blocked YouTube embeds, which you need for Nightbot. So that's something I have to like custom load. Yeah, I like things that hurt. Yeah, of course. Of course you do. You openly liked it. I did see that, Ram. And that was, I hope that apology was, you know, to your liking. I thought you went to go to, no, that was, yeah, maybe it's not a ukulele, but that's my apology video. I'd rather listen to my pager duty ringtone than that. It sounds like Dewey wants to listen to it again. That's what I'm hearing. Ram is the real one. I agree. All right, Ram, you're a real one. You're a loyalist. I got you. When apologies need a... Dude, I am not apologizing for that. I think that song's great. It's amazing. And you're welcome for that. Yeah, Dewey definitely wants to hear it again. We'll probably play it at a different time. I know you're, like, really into it, Dewey, but I don't want people to get bored of it. You know what I mean? So we gotta, like, you know, when you play a song over and over and over again that you really like, which you do, obviously, it kind of just, like, sucks the enjoyment out of it. I think we gotta, like, use it sparingly at the right moments. Yeah, keep it fresh. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry for everything I've done to you if I ever did. Please no more. What instrument? That was a flute. All right, I am going to get rid of pre-rolls because fuck Twitch and it chases everyone away. Unfortunately, this means we're going to do another BRB. That was not the official one, okay? So we're going to do a 3-minute, and then I want to keep going for another, like, 45 minutes or so. So we'll do, like, a 2-minute, actually. I'll be back within 2 minutes, and then, yeah, we'll just keep going. We'll go to, like, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. I think I want to aim for, like, 2.5 hours each stream. It's a good amount of time. All right. Yep. No, it's not going to be flute music. No, I won't do that to you. All right, guys. I'll be right back. All right, we are back for another 40 minutes. I don't think you meant that apology. Let's hear it again. I think you guys like to torture each other. I think so too, Zinka. I remember that recorder. I kept that thing for a long time, I think. What do you guys got planned for this week? Which part of Helm or Mordoon enchant will be passed into the enchant method as a first argument? Okay, so this is going to be self mana. What? Oh wait, which part of will be passed into the enchant method as the first argument self? Oh, sorry. Oh, I got it. Okay, yeah. Of course. So, man, that's so weird. I don't like this added property added. Like, obviously, what are you going to do? You're not going to add the class here, right? I still don't like this. Why do we not have access to self when we're working with a class? Why do we have to pass it in? I bet you still have yours on your nightstand next to your furry suit. Dude, you were talking about some furry stuff when I came in, I think. I should have clipped it. That's what you do to me all the time. I should have clipped that. Damn. My plan, I would literally try to play the recorder if I still had it, though. I used to have an ocarina. I did. And I would learn songs to play on that thing. I loved it. My planned college continued Boot.dev, Python courses, and catch up on season 2 of Severance. Okay. I think one day I'll watch Severance. What are you going to college for, Glaxmos? I did miss my chance. I know. I'll remember for next time, maybe. I think you can create helper methods inside a class that don't need self passed in. Inside, what's a helper method inside of class? Like, how do you distinguish, like, inside of a class? What is the difference between a regular method and a helper method where you don't need to pass in self? Are you just talking about, like, yeah, what do you mean by that? Look at my horse is amazing. KMRN. Con47, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Just so you know, chat is on top of the lesson, which looks scrambled. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where to put it, honestly. Do I put it down? Like, where do I put this thing? Where do I put you guys? Wait, this isn't a bad idea. That's not the worst idea. It looks kind of weird. You know what I need to do? I need to finally build a screen where it kind of shrinks my window that I'm working with a little bit, and it'll put everything on the right. You see this with like people that are actually professional streamers. They do this. That's what I got to do. I was talking about my cat humping my plushies to clarify any stuffed animal that is laying down can't be around him. I thought that was mainly a dog thing. That's her cat, huh? What are you teaching your cat? Programming and creative writing. Helper function? I don't know what you're typing. Put chat above your head. Yeah, it kind of blocks the answer a little bit, though. Sometimes I use the wrong terminology. So you're just talking about like a method. So you can build a method inside. We'll test it out. But you're saying you can build a method inside without taking itself. But I mean, I'm assuming once we clear this, we're going to get self that in damage, right? We'll have to try it out. It's a pretty good song. I actually like the song. You guys have pretty good music taste. It's a Monster Cat release. That's royalty free, isn't it? I'll decide if I want that song in my playlist. Makes me feel important. Good. Front and center. What's up, TRT? Or Turtle. Turtled. I'm going to start calling you Turtled. What's up? Reduce the size your browser window and leave above the video. That is what I would do. Yeah, that's what that's what I was talking about with the scene. I don't think I'm going to do it now because I need like probably some sort of background so it doesn't look really bad. I don't know. I do want to do something like that. I know what you're talking about. My cat is proud of it too. He drags it in the room where I am and announces he's about to really back. That's funny. Just saw Echo versus Jinx fight. Oh, you need... Yeah! Hope that's not a spoiler for people. Let me know if we are leaking anything. But the music in Season 1 is what I really like, too, of Arcane. You kind of like the chat there? Yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of chilling. It's a bit weird. Yeah, you have okay taste in music, Zinka. You never play that kind of music on your stream, though. I've noticed that. Not tried it myself, but I think that's the reason self is used as the first argument to let you have functions and objects that don't use the variables. You talk trash in my music, but keep saying you like it. It's pretty good. It's okay. Santos, static. What do you mean by static? My plan, enjoy the weather while it lasts, work, and focus on React. Throw in a side project. Okay, nice. I think we're in for some warmer weather. What do you guys think? And I got to shovel my driveway once, and I'm happy about it. But Anonymous, what you could always do is just use Shazam. That's what I use on my phone, and just have it open. Yeah, just have Shazam open when you are listening to whatever music. Yeah, you always play a lot of lo-fi on your stream. Constructors or initializers. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Not JavaScript. Let's just do this. We broke it. What? New wall. soldier. No. Wall takes no arguments, so... Oh, what am I doing? What I meant to do was... Okay, so we see sup. If we get rid of this... One positional argument, but two were given. So I think it just breaks. I think we always need self. Oh, is there a Shazam type browser extension? I need summer. I'm tired of the cold. I'll be honest, like I'm tired of the winter as well. I usually like it because it's quiet, but I don't know. I'm ready for some heat. I think I'm finally done with the cold, to be honest. Oh, I cannot wait for the storms. I love rain. Which is why I think I'd like a lot of different areas in Florida. Google Pixel has a Shazam-like thing built in called Now Playing Your Lock Screen will show you. Okay, interesting. Huh. That's pretty cool. You always have to have it. Seems odd you have to type it each time. Well, how are you going to access it? I mean, if you want to access it... Well, and that's what I was saying. It's like if you have def something... why can I not access self here? Self dot like armor. Why do I need to pass it? Why can't it inherit it? I like sunny and hot. I want to be in a bikini all day. Rain could kick rocks. Dude, I love rain. I love rain so much. It's so hard to have two little kids stuck inside while it's pouring rain. Oh, and cold. I also need the warmth back. Yeah, your needs are different. So you can have some space to yourself. Who's snipping Sun saying he wants to be in a... Who's snipping Don saying... Yeah, Are you implying that I want to be in a bikini? What do you mean? We play out in the rain because why not? Is this annoying? Get them dressed in 50 layers and then the house get all wet and muddy. I don't know. I don't care. Rain's fun. Playing with your kids in the rain, I'm sure is fun too. Rain's awesome. Didn't you do like a Tough Mudder? Isn't that like really good after a rain or something like that? I would imagine. All right, so we are... what are we doing here? Okay, so it's rare in the world to see a class that defines properties the way we've been doing it. It's more practical to use a constructor in Python. If you name a method init, that's the constructor, and it is called when a new object is created. So with the constructor, the code would look like this. Cool. Okay, self. Now we can make the starting armor and number of weapons configurable with some parameters. Self name. Cool. Add a constructor to the wall class. It should take a depth, height, and width as parameters in that order and set them as properties. Okay. I wish it would have forced me to type this stuff out rather than having the parameters already set up. Should also compute an additional property called volume. Volume is the depth is the depth times height times width. Cool. Are you using OBS to stream? I am. It's hard when it's muddy, but I think that's the point. Yeah, seems like it would be. I think it'd be fun to do something like that. But the first parameter isn't required to be named self. We could, yeah, we know that, but it is required. But and you might as well name it self. I think it'd be a bad idea to not name it self. Just ask Bing to Bing AI about self. It says it's convention with a Python language being designed to be more explicit and clear. I don't think it's just convention to have self. Like, so what's happening? I don't think this is just convention. Oh, great. Now what did Zinka clip? Jeez. I don't think this is just convention, Tuba. Can you explain how this is just convention? I mean, like, we got that error because essentially it's saying we had these three parameters plus an additional one that was expected, but we're not capturing that. Don't worry about it. Yeah, okay. It's for RAM. Whatever. I don't trust you guys. I think RAM was like unfollowed for like a little bit too, so not a loyalist. Yep, blessed. Yeah, we know. All right. Cool. Let's go on. In Python, what is the name of the constructor method? Init. An object is an instance of a class. Let's look at what that means. In object-oriented programming, an instance is a concrete occurrence of an object. Instance is synonymous with object as they are each a particular value. Instance emphasizes the distinct identity of the object. The creation of an instance is called instantiation. So for our wall class, I can create 3 different instances of the class. Or in other words, I can create 3 separate objects. The example above, the variables are instances of the wall type. Take a look at the brawler class and the fight function provided. Create 4 new brawlers with the following stats. Right. Would you like normally do this for convention, like fighter 1? Brawler 1? Because I think like this is not that conventional in Python, but this is. All right, 7, 7. The first fight should be Aragon versus Gimli. So we're just calling it, essentially. Okay. Let's call it on. Oh no, it's a separate function. I'm like, wait, is this a method on the class? No. Okay, so we have fight. So Aragon versus Gimli. Fight. Let's go. Be right back. I'm hungry. All right. No worries. Bless, we're fine going through this. I think like your history is a little bit too fresh. I don't really enjoy when people like just come in here to backseat code. I was looking at your chat history a bit. I think that's all you've really done. Kind of like get to know people, say hello, talk about normal things. But I generally don't enjoy people that like just come into backseat code. We're gonna go through this process, and I think we're fine here. Oh crap, I'm supposed to be finishing up work. Yes, don't get distracted by me. Yeah, see you later, Ram. Thanks for joining. That's what Bing AI says. It's all about how the language was designed to be explicit. There's not another reason it seems odd. I guess I don't really give a shit about what that AI says. To like put it into practice and like show us. Like I just don't care what AI says. I just don't. I'm not saying it's wrong or anything like that. You just asked if there was another approach to store those instances. I've never asked that, Blast. I've never asked that. It's okay, but yeah, I've never asked that. What I was asking specifically was like brawler, like for naming convention. I guess maybe you misunderstood and that's why you did it. But yeah, no, like this is fine. Yeah, this is completely fine. I'm gonna lurk for a bit. Kiddos are waking up. All right, sounds good, Jessa. All right, so we are good here. Objects quiz, class soldier. Init, get speed. All right, so what are we doing? Which is true? An object? Why do we have this over here? Wait, an object is an instance of a class. Yes. A method is an instance of a function. No, a function is an instance of a method. No. Okay, it's going to be this. All right, so archers. Complete the archer class. The constructor should take the following parameters in order and set them as properties. Name, health, num arrows. Get shot method. Complete the get shot method. It operates on the current archer instance. If the current archer has health left, remove 1 health from the current archer. Then if the archer's health is 0, raise the exception. Is dead. Okay. Finish the shoot method. Okay, we'll do it one at a time. Constructor, so it's going to set... All right. If the current archer has health left, remove 1 health from the current archer. I forgot if there's parentheses in Python. I don't think so. If Can we just do like return self? Raise oh, I forgot exceptions. I almost like this, honestly. Let's start with the error first. If scroll up. Is it F or this? Ah, crap, I just had it. F, right, okay. Okay, so self.name is dead. So finish the shoot. Otherwise, we just change self health to equal 1 minus or -1. Finish the shoot method. It takes an Archer instance as the target input. Okay. If the shooter has no arrows left, okay, so okay. If the shooter, meaning self, num of arrows equals 0, then okay, it's the name again. Self name can't shoot. Remove an arrow. And print self name shoots target dot name call get shot method. Call the targets get shot. Yeah, okay. See if that works. Okay. King Richard has 0 health. And 0 arrows. No exception raised. It only subtracts 1. King Richard shoots Prince. There's 1. Prince shoots King. King has 0 health. 0 arrows. Obviously, he's going to have 0 arrows. The health is 0 and this doesn't raise? King Richard has 0 health. And there's no exception raised. Just let me double check conditional. It is being reduced properly. Oh. I see. Hold on. I think I know. Or I meant to do health. So if we get shot, we need to subtract it initially. Can't shoot. Because it would need to be called again, essentially, for that exception to raise. I almost want to do like a self-health is like, yeah, no. I think that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. Just order. There we go. Cool. Would you recommend Code Academy for? It depends on for who. Every program has pros and cons. I don't know if I have ever reviewed it though, or looked into it that much. I've heard mixed reviews with it. Am I allowed to say what's the problem there? I don't mind you like trying to. So two things. I generally don't enjoy people that come in just a backseat code. I'm usually much more open to it with people that have been here for a while. And I'm not going into explaining all that again. Two, if it's like explaining like what is wrong or like what the bug is, that's completely fine when I'm doing the Boot.dev stuff. That's totally fine. I just won't look at chat until I solve it. And I think that's kind of how I've been going about it. It's like the way I would look at it, like to just simplify it, like if your only messages are just backseat coding, probably not okay. But like, you know, if you're Devon or someone like that, or Tech Workbench, who is like getting involved in the other conversation and stuff like that, and then it's pretty much okay. I think that's the simplest way to put it. Yeah, I think the simplest way is I don't enjoy people that just come into backseat code. I'm going over the same path with Boot.dev. I get some of learning done. Cheers. Have a good stream. All right, take care. Tech Workbench. Have a good one. You must... Yeah, that's for subs. Twitch subs. Yeah, no problem, ProDoc. I mean, like, can you try it out for a month? You know, that's what I recommend. Like, can you try the program out for a month? Is it working for you? Then I'd look up reviews and stuff like that. Look on Reddit. Yeah, I would look at Reddit and like see if anyone's reviewed some of their programs. Got it? Any subject but coding. Not any subject but coding. I think it's more along... I don't know how else to explain this. I don't think it's like you can't talk about coding. It's just like a balance thing. If you just come here to backseat code, generally no. Okay, think I found something with self. Self is passed in for methods to do with the instance, but you can have class methods if you add a decorator, class method, and pass in that. You can also have static. Why? Static method that takes in 0 arguments. Found a really old post about it. Seems to work. So, and that's with Python 3. Can you post the article, Tuba? Yeah, can you post it? I'm gonna go. We'll continue forward. We're just gonna chill for a little bit and talk. Went through quite a bit of lessons. We were, you know, we had some interesting conversation. Got distracted a little bit, but it was fun. Yeah, can you post that article, Tuba? I mean, we're not really using decorators. I guess too, but I don't care. Like, if you're talking about, like, using decorators to show what you're talking about, I don't think I really care. We haven't gotten into decorators with Python or anything like that. I just don't think I care. So don't ping me. If you just want to share it in general with people, that's fine. But I just don't care. If I'm being honest. But it seems like with methods and classes, just expect to pass in, or expect to have self as a parameter. Can you put some... Are you just posting that from email? If you want to share it with a server, can you put some context to that post and share it like, hey, if you guys are kind of curious about, like, can you push... Because I feel like it's just like a random post with no context. Can you change that? Yeah, don't just post that for me, because I don't care. I'm not going to dive into that. If we have to use decorators. Can you post some context of why you're posting it? It's fine. Like, I get it. It's like bugging you. You're like, oh, I got to know. But can you just, you know, because if people just link an article, it usually implies, oh, you should check it out. But not everyone should check that out. So, you know, like, adding context of like, hey, you know, it's kind of bugging me. Found out and go into the self thing. But yeah, just provide some extra context. I'll look up reviews and might try a free week sub, then figure out if it's any good. Thanks for the response. Yeah, no worries. Try it out. Let us know how you like it. You can always come back and let us know. Get a little bit more context. I guess what is the point of that? That's what I like to... Like, what is the relevance to that? What is the practical application to it? You're saying it's like a very old way to do it, then why do you care about this issue? On Wednesday, we're not going to work on Boot.dev. I don't think so. I think we might learn Angular. I don't know. If I'm being honest, I kind of like... I'm going to work on the Nest.js side of things kind of solo for a little bit. We're going to learn Angular. I kind of want to go through Boot.dev and like get to the end of the Python stuff and then build something with Django. Like this, keep me up at night. I don't like not being able to understand the little things. Okay. I gotcha. I think my recommendation... My unsolicited advice would be like, don't get caught up on the little things. Build some stuff. What? You know, I think like what I'm thinking of, what's going through my head is you're going through Boot.dev quite a bit. I'm wondering like what you're building to reinforce all this. Have you been working on a large project this whole time? Because you put a lot of like... You put some time into it, and it's kind of scattered. I'm wondering if you've been like working on a project on the side to like reinforce all this stuff. Little things tend to bite me in the ass. I don't think that would have bitten you in the ass. I think it just gnawed at you, and I think you just wanted an answer to it. I don't think that would have stopped you, which is like kind of my point. Like, I think you're focused on things that are like not... Like, it's fine if you're curious about them, but I'd be curious, like, what have you built? If we're talking about self in Python, I don't have anything to back up my opinion, but given that Python strives for being easy to read, you pass self explicitly for the sake of clarity. For example, Java passes self to constructor implicitly, and if you don't know... I don't think it does it just for clarity. We just tested this out. Were you there when we tested this out? We got an error when we tried to not pass in self. I don't think it was for clarity. I don't know if I follow. I shut down my brain for a while and I'm a little confused. Follow what exactly? There's an article that Mel posted in programming. I think self is required. Like, we just tested it out. And the example that Mel brought up, what you did for the last what I did for the last 30 minutes. Oh, gotcha, that last problem. It seems like decorators made that a little bit different, where they might have been providing self or extra context or something like that, but I don't think it's for clarity. Like, we can load up Boot.dev and go over it again, but I don't think it was just for clarity. I think it's required. I actually dreamt about coding last night. I need a vacation. Take a break. Yeah, go on vacation. Do you think you'll... I'm kind of curious, Zinka. Are the Monday streams too much? Do you think they're burning you out? Yeah, it is required, and that might be by design and make it explicit or something. I don't know, really. Okay, I do think it is required. I think, like, if you have, like, if you're injecting stuff with a decorator method, yeah, this is old. Yeah, this is old. I just tossed up the article. Fuck it. I'm just looking through it. All right. I'm looking through it. I've not built anything. I'm not great with objects. Currently playing around with Discord Pi, trying to use objects in it, even though I don't think it's the best way to do it. I'm just learning. Submitting PRs to another Discord bot project that uses a lot of syntax I've never seen, even though it's written in Python. Then can you really be sure that you're learning? That you're going to remember that? I guess it depends on the PRs that you're submitting. But at this point, like, you're far into the Boot.dev curriculum. You should be building projects. I would hate for all that to go to waste, you know? Maybe it isn't. Maybe the PRs that you're doing is reinforcing it a little bit. But I don't think going through the Boot.dev curriculum alone is a good idea. I do think there should be project work paired with it. Which is why I'm doing the Python project, right? We're going to pick up Django. We're going to build something with Python and Django. Like, that's exactly why I'm doing it. Because I know, like, you care about learning and getting better. I just genuinely would hate to see some of that knowledge kind of just, you forget it, you know? And actually it'd be interesting seeing what you would want to build. I don't think the streams are burning me out. I've just been coding too much in general. I've been in Denver this week, so I'll get a break. Oh, okay. Gotcha, okay. Yeah, all you do is code. Damn. I mean, but the streams add to that code, too. I found why from Stack Overflow. It's very simple. That the official Python convention, the official docs, we can read about it. Often the first argument of a method is called self. This is nothing more than a convention. The name... We're not talking about the name, Jake. We're talking about a variable that exists that has to be passed in. Yeah, I've already said that the name self could be changed. Yeah, we're not talking about the name. However, that by not following the convention, your code will be less readable. Yeah, we're not talking about the name. I'm talking about the variable needs to be a parameter, regardless if you call it self or not. Yeah, I know. I read that it not only refers to calling itself, but to requirement to explicitly pass step first. What? I read that it's not only refers to calling itself, but to requirement to explicitly pass step first. You have to pass it, is what I'm saying. So does your thing that you just said say you don't have to pass it? Like, you don't have to add it as a parameter? I'm wondering if you're kind of, if, yeah, we'll just simplify it to that. So what I'm saying is you need it as a parameter, regardless if you call it self or not. You need that as a first parameter, or your code's going to bug out when you don't have the consistent number of parameters. Is what you're saying, does it conflict with what I just said? Because I feel like I'm not really I'm not really sure where you guys are going with that. Instance, class, and static methods. So these are with decorators. These are things we're not doing. For Python 2, available as of, okay, 2.4. We're not messing with decorators. Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jake. Then we're on the same page with that, yeah. So this convention that you need, so it's not just a convention that you need to pass it, you need it, it's required. It's not just a convention. The convention, I would say like, I would call a convention optional, right? But I would say the convention is optional. Would you consider a convention something else? What's up, DF? But yeah, it seems like Jake, what I'm asking, so what I'm saying is the first parameter is required and naming itself is optional. It's a convention that you should stick by, but it's optional. Those are the two main points that I'm making. Is that the point that you are making? They use strict types in Boot.dev. I'm a bit freaked out with the maze project, so have been recapping instead. The fact that you're recapping means you're not building enough on the side. The Discord project I'm submitting to is for my local meetup group, so I'm able to get feedback quickly. That's good, but it's a huge leap. Okay, I plan on starting the maze project this week, but we'll be asking people to meet up if I need help, but didn't want to just ask them to help with my stuff. Want to contribute to things that help them first. Gotcha. No, that's cool. And the PRs that you're doing, I don't know what you're really doing. They'll reinforce some stuff. But I think a better use case would be to, even if you need ChatGPT to help you come up with an idea, like come up with a mini project that reinforce, you get through a Python fundamentals thing, like spit out the different methods that you learned with it and have it come up with a project idea for you. That's going to reinforce it right away. You want to reinforce it sooner. If what you're doing is working, great. But the fact that you're saying like, it kind of seems like the maze thing is overwhelming for you, which tells me that you haven't really built enough up until that point, which I think is a flaw of just self-taught courses in general. You have to branch out of them. Reinforcing your learning, building projects based off of what you're learning has helped throughout my journey, helps everything tying together. It's so powerful. It's so powerful to really tie all that in and reinforce. And like the projects will get you to like link up a lot of the fundamental concepts. It's so good. It's such a good strategy. I totally get that it is. Okay, so you are saying it's required. Okay. I think we're kind of like at an instance, Jake, where we're talking about two different things. The original statement, and you didn't really clarify that from the beginning. The original statement, I think, that I made was that first parameter. If we exclude it, can we exclude it? And what was told to me was it was optional. And then we started talking about that, and it's not optional. And that's why we have this article in front of us. So I think you like had some missing context when you were talking about that. because you like jumped into the conversation, but it was a different conversation. Like if your point is that you were trying to find like why it's required, why that was built in, that's different. Yeah, I just want to like reel it in and focus the conversation. It's fine if you want to add that, but I think there's so much context that sometimes chat it's missing, and I just want to make sure like the conversation is clarified, so we're like on the same page, you know? Yeah, no worries, no worries. I have no idea why it's required. I really don't. I don't know if it's by design or not. But so let me like with that new frame in mind. You're saying that, in my opinion, it might be by design to make it more readable and to make it even more readable when you name it self. And maybe I'm understanding convention wrong. I mean, you do have inherited class methods, right? We have initialize, for example, that init. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it does tell you. I mean, it's just assumed in JavaScript that you have access to this. And I'm wondering if like there's just a different way of thinking in Python where you make less assumptions like that, but you still have your like default methods that you're going to get with every class. Why not have self? I don't know. Yeah, I think I just need to push through, but I usually get overwhelmed by anything new. I tend to give it a few days and go back to it when I first come up against new things. My mind goes blank. It seems to be a consistent reaction, but I've found if I don't give up, I can learn it. It just takes longer to push through that first bit. I gotcha. Okay, it's not a perfect strategy. But it sounds like you still make forward momentum, which that is important. By the way, we didn't achieve our quest. Oh, we did. Oh, I don't think it did. It pop up? Maybe it did. What is... Yeah, so you're past the static site generator. Now you're doing DSA, then you're doing build a maze solver. What do you think about the idea of like, let's say that you get done with object-oriented programming. What do you think about the idea of like having ChatGPT generate a small project idea that is focused on you getting comfortable with OOP and reinforcing it? Do you like that idea or do you not like that idea? Open the notifications. I hit level 50 today. I need to get on Boot.dev more. I'm not opening these. There's no way in hell I'm opening that. I would be so upset if I accidentally clicked that. And I am so happy that they lifted that number. And I bet you if I didn't say anything, they never would have lifted it. I'm glad I said this. It's right here. I could accidentally click. I could, but I'm not going to. I know I'm like giving a lot of unsolicited feedback, Tuba, and hopefully it's not coming off as obnoxious. But I know you've invested a lot of time into this, right? You've dumped quite a bit of time. I would love for it to stay reinforced, because what I've noticed that you do is you kind of like come back to it once in a while for little dopamine hits and like do a little achievement or something like that. And if you are going to spread that out and your attempts so thin, I wonder if you would benefit from doing a little extra project that reinforces those concepts. And that way you get more confident with projects. You get more confident, or like you're able to recall the concepts that you're learning more frequently, more often. I don't know. It'll just stick more. You know what I mean? So feel free to tell me to shut up with the unsolicited feedback. But I've just been paying attention to like when you share stuff in Discord. A lot of times it's kind of just seems like little dopamine hits. And you want to make sure that you're really getting this stuff reinforced. I find it hard to care about project AI gives me. They tend to be too generic, but after the bookbot project from Boot.dev, I created a playground thing that pulled out and counted up emojis for my Discord messages. Okay, Discord Pi project I'm playing around with for myself is based on that. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's good. Okay, so you kind of are reinforcing it. I think what can help is like if you have a project in mind, have ChatGPT help you generate feature ideas that'll reinforce using the concepts that you want. I'm not saying you have to use AI to help you generate it. I'm just saying it can help you. And I think this is where people could, like when I say do a mini project to reinforce what you're learning, what can be very effective is maybe even adding a feature to a project you enjoy that makes sense to add, and it also utilizes the concepts that you're doing. Because if you're just like building a Discord bot, for example, or something like that, it probably isn't going to touch on it. It's not going to really touch on a ton of stuff that you're learning here. It's going to use like 4 or 5 main concepts, and then that's it. Like when you're kind of just doing some Discord bot thing, you don't really... you don't need like half of this. You know what I mean? FBI, open up! C Films rating with a party of 4. What's up, C Films? Thank you. Thanks for the raid. How was your stream? What do you guys do over there? For here, we're just learning Python. We're kind of wrapping up towards the end of it, but we are learning some Python. Dark mode done? You're killing my eyes. All right. There we go. Hello, I'm doing great, and C Films is rating you. Coming from C Films. Okay, the wording just sounds... Okay. Well, yeah, I do appreciate the raid. What do you guys do over there? I was working on C Films website. On the C Films website. Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. Here, let me just Gotcha. Okay. Needed to refresh my memory with that. That's cool though. How's the website going? I'm gonna go chill for a bit. What day you next on? I'm gonna be Wednesday. So we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 p.m. Central Time. I think we're gonna do Angular, but we'll see. It's either Boot.dev or Angular on Wednesday. I have to stop pushing Angular off. I have to. It's getting ridiculous at this point. If you're reading a lot of articles and you care about dark mode, there's a nice extension, Dark Reader. It helped. I don't care. Some people do not like light mode. I like light mode. I don't think dark mode is good to read in. You don't want to read a blog post in dark mode. It's not good for your eyes. Get it done. Angular is going to be an investment, a time investment. Angular is a bit tougher. There's more to it for sure. The problem is I keep putting Twitch Sprout off. I don't even care that much about Angular. I care more about putting Twitch Sprout off. I think that's what I'm kicking myself over, you know? I added a new question to the C Films quiz on the... Are you when you say C Films, are you referencing yourself? I guess the way you're reading it, you're talking about yourself in third person. I don't know. The way I'm reading what you're saying is you're literally referencing yourself in third person. But anyways, yeah, take care, Bones. Thanks for joining us. Do you guys like reading articles in dark mode? Doesn't that strain your eyes? Have you learned Vue before? No, I haven't dove into Vue before. I don't see a reason why I would. I might as well like just use React, you know? I think a lot of people like Vue that never really got good with React. I hate light mode. My eyes hurt. Really? Everything dark mode? There's no way you guys read blog articles with dark mode. Oh, I use dark mode when it's dark and it's dark right now? Okay, fair enough. Dark mode forever? I don't read articles that much, but when I do dark mode is a must. That is crazy. I know, but like, you keep referencing yourself. Okay. I don't know, it's just weird to me. Okay. My eyes hurt reading black on white. I used to need overlays at school because paper was so bright. Because paper? Paper was bright. Really? Like a white piece of paper. I don't think I've ever heard that before. I never turned dark mode off, but I try to use a lower contrast. My eyes are still pretty damn good. And I think it's because I don't spend all my time in dark mode. I don't know. Who wears glasses or contacts? It's funny you think I can read. Were you guys good readers or horrible readers in high school? I have a quite big visual impairment. I wear glasses and my eyes are sensitive to light. My code editor is light mode. Oh, well, that's just messed up. That's like sociopathic behavior. I wouldn't ever make my editor light mode. That's crazy. Huh. I think you guys are messing with me. I like dark mode, but articles can be either for me. I figured it's good to practice both. Same goes for versus code themes. I like both. Okay. I wear glasses sometimes, depends. Some days they are fine. I think it's because you guys have been reading in dark mode for too long. I've worn glasses since elementary school, but my near vision is good. Okay, gotcha. Huh. Do you think it's worse for your eyes to stare at dark pixels or light pixels? Intuitively, light mode seems worse for my eyes. It might dry. So monitors can dry your eyes out, regardless if it's light or dark. But if you don't want to sit in a dark room reading a dark screen, that generally will put more strain on your eyes. And the strain can wear on your eyes over time. At the very least, it can make it like... I mean, monitors themselves will make your eyes dry. So you want to lube those babies up. Nice and slick. But I think you want more brightness from your screen. That's the thing. I don't know. What you really want is like not to sit in a dark room and then look at a bright screen. It doesn't have to be too bright, but that's your ideal state. You don't want to watch a movie in the dark because that can hurt your eyes. Everyone does it anyways. But I'm wondering if there's like something to it where like if you have like a really bright screen and you're sitting in the dark, then that probably isn't good. I don't know. But why are you guys sitting in the dark looking at a bright screen? I would assume you have like lights around you, right? You have lights lighting up the room. That's my assumption. Because I had an issue with inflammation with my right eye, and I feel like I learned quite a bit about it because I thought my monitors were affecting it, but I figured out it was like it was an autoimmune thing in my eye. I still have not like figured that out. I went through a lot of different diagnosis stuff. But I feel like I learned quite a bit about like just preserving your acuity, but also your vision. And I don't know, I think you guys are ruining your vision. My family all have it. Our pupils are much larger and don't close up. Oh, okay. So you are more sensitive to light. Oh. Most of my family can see in the dark and don't need glasses. That's crazy. Huh. I was majoring in literature in high school, so I had to be a good reader. My teacher was very strict. Ah, that's good. I feel like I'm an okay reader. I don't think I'm a great reader. I'm pretty good. I could be better. We get migraines, so yeah, if you have all that input coming in, your pupils aren't properly what's the opposite of dilating? They're dilating in like they're not responsive. That's you're going to have too much input. Yeah. I could see that. It's like staring at a light bulb on versus light bulb off. Well, I don't think a white screen on your computer is like staring at a light bulb. I don't think, no. I need glasses to play Overwatch though, because I play it on console TV and I can't see that far anymore. That's fair. Or maybe you got to buy a bigger TV. You're sitting in the dark right now. That's probably what's not helping your vision. My room is pretty dark, actually. I have a small desk lamp, but nothing more. Guys, turn the lights on. I'm using glasses with blue light. Oh, but Jake, you're like, it's really late for you right now, isn't it? I have using glasses with blue light filter, so my eyes are good, even if I use a screen all day, which is every day. I don't think I don't think your eyes completely are protected from the, it's not just a blue light. It's like, make sure your eyes are hydrated. I don't think blue light blockers will prevent your eyes from, like, you can still strain your eyes with it. Blue light will disrupt your melatonin production, so it can kind of keep you up later. I don't know if it's like harmful towards your eyes. I'm kind of a slow reader because I hear every word in NX my head when I read. You mean like you don't you try to interpret every single word solo and you just like, is that what you mean by NX? What do you mean by that? Like you don't pair words together or kind of skip words that are irrelevant? My TV is 60? Oh, that's crazy. Damn. Okay, yeah, your vision's going a little bit. My life is dark mode. It's like I have an internal narrator and X was a typo. What did you mean to... Oh, my head? I don't know what you're saying. Every word. I don't know what you're saying. Strain, yes, but compared to the glasses without this filter, you can feel the difference. My eyes were hurting me like hell before. Since I got those glasses with a filter, they never hurt. Really? I don't know. I have blue light glasses. I used them like once. They were just annoying. I would hate to wear glasses. I feel like glasses in general are just annoying. I usually don't wear sunglasses either. Glasses are just annoying. The blue light filter works amazing. All my glasses have it, really. Huh. I wonder what blue light does to your eyes. Besides, like, I know it disrupts the melatonin production, but... Or melatonin production. Some people read without a voice in their head, so I have heard. That's how speed reading works. Gotcha. I mean, like, I have that. I know what you're talking about. I have that internal voice as well, but I don't think I'm slow. I don't think it makes me slow. But that's not a blocker. You don't need to be one of the few people that doesn't have that internal voice to speed read. You just need to train yourself to do it. Yeah, that's not a blocker for you. You just got to train yourself. Thanks for the stream. Able to get a few things done. Nice while hanging out with all. Catch y'all later. Oh, when I have glasses, they suck sometimes. All right, so we got a lot of people with glasses in here. Okay. Well, anyways, take care, Devon. Thanks for joining us. I don't believe in speed reading. That's so woo-woo nonsense. I question how much they retain or how much they learn with that. But yeah, it's even kind of weird to talk about because like some people that never have a voice in their head and have that internal voice, like when you first discover it, it's like, wait, you have a voice in your head? You're thinking like schizophrenia. But some people don't have it. You're like, wait, you don't have a voice in your head? You don't have an internal dialogue? What do you think? You know? I think it's kind of funny. Most people have that internal dialogue, though. I think it would be interesting to look into the advantages and disadvantages of an internal dialogue and not an internal dialogue. I mean, and like some people will be able to visualize things better than others in their head. Some people, like for me, I can't have a really clear picture in my head. It's like mostly. It's kind of like I put together an image, but there's still like missing spots in that image, right? I can't have like a crystal clear image in my head. Some people can. If you are wearing them since you were 4 years old, you get used to them and you feel incomplete without them. That's fair, Jake. Speed reading is like astral projection. Like, sure, bro, I totally believe you. You don't believe astral projection is real? You think we're trapped in our physical bodies? People wanting to be quirky? I don't think so. Have you looked into the gateway process with the CIA? I can't say I've ever tried it. But I mean, like, there are people that you think it's silly? My brother constantly tries to tell me he's done it, and I think he's trolling. He might be trolling, but there are people that I highly respect in terms of both integrity, but also just spirituality that they've dove into, and they've been doing it for many, many years, where I think I'm totally open to the idea of astral projection. I think thinking that we're trapped in our body, I think is a more ignorant belief. It's almost also a depressing belief that all we are is our physical. But like, have you actually looked into it, or do you just make fun of people that think that, Zinka? Because like, have you actually looked into the gateway process? But you've never tried it yourself. You've never like spent 3 to 6 months with like deep meditation with that as a focus. You've never done it yourself. Like, what kind of research have you done with the gateway process? You don't believe in a spirit? Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, no wonder. Didn't you say you believe in God, in Jesus? Or am I like completely misremembering? Commando, so you don't believe in souls? You're not religious. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm way off then. I had a different idea. I'm probably just misremembering or mixing names up. Okay, gotcha. Well, I mean, like, it sounds like you haven't really tried any deep meditation. I didn't think all Texans were Christians. I just thought you said you were Christian. Or I thought you said you believed in God. And I'm just misremembering that. But I think there's... I think before you can judge people, though, I think you owe it to yourself to, like, go on a spiritual journey to discover that. Because, you know, like, otherwise you kind of just sit in arrogance and ignorance. But arrogance because it depends on, like, how you treat others who are spiritual, of course. But, like, you can't really say until you explore your spiritual side. And whether that means more self-awareness or what. Like, spirituality in general, is very subjective. But it sounds like you haven't really explored that side of you. You study a lot of... Yeah, but studying is very different than doing. I don't think less of spiritual people. I just don't believe in it. Okay, gotcha. But studying is very different than doing, Zinka. I'm talking about literally, like, going through the process of meditation. I'm talking about, like, if you want to discover something new, if you want to open up your horizons, I highly suggest you try it at some point in your life. Spend 3 to 6 months dedicated with it. You think I have time to meditate? I think if you form any strong opinions, they're worthless until you try it. So, like, eventually, yeah, and actually, yes, you don't have to stream. You don't have to spend 10 hours on Final Fantasy. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. What do you mean, have time to meditate? I see your activity feeds pop up. I see your activity feeds pop up on Discord of you playing games. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. I like having strong bad opinions. Okay. I'm totally, yeah, that's completely fine. As long as, like, the two things, and I don't think you're like this, I'm just saying, for me, the two things that I hate are people that do believe in God, that shove their religion and, like, kind of, like, sell them like a salesman on it. You need to believe this. You're going to hell. I don't like people like that. Or atheists and agnostic people who basically make fun of people who do have a spiritual side or who do believe in a God, who do believe in Jesus or whatever your God is, and they kind of just make fun of people in tech that believe. Those are, like, the two sides that I hate. And if you're anywhere in between and you can treat someone with kindness and just not believe it, that's totally cool. I think more people should be that way. But yeah, I've seen your activity. That I like that Discord activity because it's kind of a self-report for people that are, like, saying that they're working hard. I see all the games that you guys are playing. Like, let's see, Grixius, StarCraft 2. He's been playing for 23 hours. Is that right? Or no, 23 minutes. Zinka, Final Fantasy 1 day ago. You had a 3-time streak. You played 3 days in a row. So it wasn't just 1 day. You played 3 days in a row. And then Aaron hasn't played a game for, like, a week. Yeah, a lot of my friends are Christian. I like to talk about the Bible with them. I just don't believe in it. Yeah, totally fair. I think, Zinka, you should consider doing like some type of meditation. I think it would help with stress at the very least. I think it would help ground emotions, and you might enjoy that. Maybe that's all you get out of it. But, like, you might be busy now, but you should consider trying it out. Like, if you are interested, here's the reason why I'm recommending it, because you are interested in mythology, you're interested in religion, so you have this side of you, this spiritual side of you, that you're not really exploring. Because it's usually a sign that you do have that side that kind of, like, wants to come out. But I think you owe it to yourself eventually to dive into it. I really want to start practicing meditation. Allowing thought to flow freely without judgment almost seems like a superpower. Yes. And that's something I need to dive a little bit more into as well. Because there's plenty of internal dialogue that makes me stressed out. I have a lot of negative internal dialogue when I'm stressed. And I go through a ton of situations and like how they would play out if it was like the worst case scenario. That's one thing that's been a constant battle of mine, that meditation calmed down when I did it in the past. That internal dialogue for me goes away with a lot of heavy, high intensity exercise, but also just good social interactions. But meditation, kind of like mindfulness meditation really helped with that for me. I played games this weekend. Okay, so it's the whole weekend. Okay. But that's 3 days. So that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I've seen you play games not just this weekend. I've seen you hop on different games outside of this weekend, too. I personally do my best not to judge people. That's good. I think it's okay to judge people. I just think it shouldn't affect how you treat them. Like, we can't completely turn off the opinions we form of people. And those opinions can form right away. You can't turn those off. You could change your perspective to not come up with opinions as quickly or as strong of opinions. But in general, like, we're going to have judgments. They just shouldn't negatively affect how we treat people. And maybe not really my thing, but I'll keep it in mind. Okay. All right, cool. I'm an atheist. I don't understand why people believe in gods or anything else, but if they want to, then I don't really care. My best friend believes, goes to church, and we are friends for 13. There it is. There it is, man. My best friend does not believe in God. Who cares? Yeah, I've known him since I was like 5 years old. Who cares? We're still best friends. The difference in spiritual beliefs do not have to go against you. On occasion, I game. This is true. So you do have time. Okay. That's all I'm saying. You do have time. Yeah, it can be a deeply personal thing. Yeah, a lot of even like couples and like success rates of marriages don't depend on you having the same religion. A lot of people think that. A lot of Christians like really limit themselves to only dating Christians, but I think it's more of the idea that probably it's like if they don't believe in at least Jesus, they're not going to follow him to the afterlife. I kind of understand that belief. I'm just talking from like a logical perspective. But there are a lot of Christians who will only date Christians, and that is not going to determine your success rate at marriage. It's values. Your values don't, unless your values are only your religion, then I would highly suggest that you try to break away from that to discover like what your values actually are. But, yeah, it's really values that determine success. Let me phrase it this time. The free time I have, I'd rather game than meditate. Well, yeah, of course you would. Ooh, meditate with games. See, Anonymous. Anonymous knows what's going on. Good idea. Play one mind-numbing game that you can play without thinking and meditate. I find it hard not to judge some people when people totally disregard the proven science, though. So, what do you mean by that? We talking about creation, Big Bang, which is just a theory? So one of the more promising theories. Is that what we're talking about? I think you're kind of just... You need to be more specific. Are you saying that people that believe in God are disregarding proven science and that you judge them because of that? Is that what you're saying? Be very specific about what you're saying. Religion is a hot topic in my country since Catholic Church sticks its nose into politics, and many people don't like that. Gotcha. I think the reason why people think I'm Christian is because I hold Christian values, like morally I line up. I honestly, maybe that's it. I just thought you said that. So here's what I'm going to do. Like, both of you, I'll just do a timeout for, and I'm going to be very clear about this. I'm going to do a timeout for 24 hours for both of you. Timeout. So if you are specifically saying and you're implying a negative judgment, if you are implying a negative judgment because someone believes something with their religion, like, you're just being condescending and you're just being an asshole. I think those conversations could play out in constructive ways, but like, if you are specifically saying that, like, you judge people based off of their beliefs being rooted in their religion, you're just being an asshole. So this is why I don't mind talking about religion in my channel or in my community, because, like, we can have conversations without being an asshole about it. And I think it stems from, like, acknowledging the two types of people. It really just comes down to, like, how you treat people that believe something different than you. But it essentially comes down to people that are kind of, like, condescending, like you guys were, towards people who are going to believe in kind of like an early Earth creationist theory based off of their religion. And I've heard really good arguments from both sides of that. But I think, like, the problem comes, and this is where, like, people make religion controversial. The problem comes when you just kind of, like, you're condescending, or you treat someone like you have some negative judgment because they have this belief, and you got to treat them like they're stupid, or that they're ignorant, that they just don't know any better. Like, this is what Christians and Catholics do, and they did this a lot in my hometown, where they kind of were just condescending towards people who were atheists and who were agnostic, who they just had this, like, condescending tone to them, and it was like a very judgmental thing. Like, talking about spirituality, talking about religion doesn't have to be controversial when you're not a dick about it. I really think it's that simple, and I think people overcomplicate it, which is why I welcome people, like, sharing their religion and stuff like that here. But, like, yeah, I think that's what it comes down to, and I think that's how you solve that issue of it being controversial. But all we do is, like, anyone that acts like that, we time them out and eventually ban them. It's solved just like that, and then we can continue having kind of a more positive conversation about it. And I'm going to... I don't know how I feel about, like, extreme takes. So, even for people that believe the flat earth stuff, I still don't think you should be an asshole. And I want to be very clear about that. I still, like, when it comes to religion, I don't even know what that's based off of. Is that religious? Where's that rooted from? But even with the kind of, like, things that might seem silly to you, I think shitting on people, when it comes to religion, when it comes to spirituality, I think we need to kind of tiptoe a little bit more and be conscientious about, like, how that's going to make certain people feel, even if they believe something that might not be likely. We'll say it lightly like that. Because I think the way we treat people, if we're talking about like how we're going to negatively judge someone, I think you're just being an asshole. So I don't know. When it comes to spirituality, I think we should probably be a little bit kinder about it. Again, this is how we have these kind of conversations without it being controversial. And if you aren't an adult enough to have these types of conversations in a constructive, kind manner, then you shouldn't be having them. Then step away from the conversation. Yeah, I got what you're saying, Jake. And there's the other side of that too, Jake. You see one side of it. I've also seen the other side of it. Where again, it's just completely condescending towards anyone that does kind of have those spiritual beliefs. They would talk trash if you didn't attend church on Sunday. Where's that rooted from? It's just a conspiracy. Now, it has nothing to do with it? Okay. Is not really religion? Okay, gotcha. I don't know much about it. So that's not a good example of what I'm talking about then. Yeah. But I think like you guys get what I mean. It's like there was someone I'll actually just mention him. I'm not even going to mention it, teasing. I don't know if the name... You'll probably know who I'm talking about, honestly. He's in your community, but he's like... He's a perfect example of like someone that... He'll basically say things like... people that believe in any like God or people that believe in any sort of religion don't belong in tech. Like that's the type of... that's just the type of toxicity that like... No one wants to talk with someone like that. No one wants to work with someone like that. Like, it's just obnoxious. That's the kind of like extreme that I'm talking about. Well, it's not extreme. It's just like condescending towards the other side. Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. Just Corrales, thanks for the follow. Welcome. But like people that'll just like shit on people and like look at them like they're stupid or they just have too few of brain cells for following a religion or something like that. I don't know. I think people like that, and again, there are extremes on the other side, or condescending people on the other side. I just think like religion can be talked about more. Spirituality can be talked about more, as long as we like call out just assholes on both sides. Like it's such an awesome conversation, even if you don't want to believe in a religion. Like everyone can at least come together to understand that like everyone has a spiritual side, even if you don't think it's what would you call it, like surreal or not in this physical plane. Like spiritual side can even just mean like just self work. It can mean like acknowledging that you have a subconscious, that you need to be able to read better. If you really want to like cure past trauma, you can dive a little bit deeper into your spiritual side that isn't so materialistic to like conquer some of that stuff, right? So even spirituality is like, it can be abstract, but people can have like different subjective interpretations of it. But generally, people that do tend to shit on spiritual people, or spiritual people that tend to shit on non-spiritual people, those are just the toxic people that shut down really constructive and good conversation. That is blasphemous. Some of the most brilliant engineers I know are religious. I know really... You would be surprised. And that's the thing. It's like, there's some people that actually think that. Like, if you are religious, it's like automatically you, in your head, lower their IQ. They're dumber than you. You cannot believe. And it's like, I think it really just comes from arrogant people. Because at the end, like, no one actually knows until you die. Like, none of us that are talking right now knows what happens when we die. We assume, we have assumptions. And if you're going to treat people like shit based off of your assumptions, then you're kind of just an asshole. It's not like you found some great wisdom that the other person just doesn't understand yet. You're just an asshole. Sadly, is this now all conspiracy that NASA and scientists are conspiring to enslave humanity? I thought it was just more of like the moon landing was fake. Like, it was the assumption that the moon landing was fake. And so we're essentially, it comes from a mentality more of like, unless I did it, I don't believe it. Right? And I think we have to kind of, you don't have to, but I think most people, if they want to, yeah, I guess you get stuck on it, and some people do, but you kind of have to assume that there are people that through social validation have kind of done this and proved this, and you are conceding some charitability in that sense that, yes, we did land on the moon, or that the planet is round. And I think most people would concede on that, because it's highly unlikely that that's not the truth, even though we have not experienced that ourselves. Okay, but maybe it has nothing to do with religion. It's just another conspiracy theory. Europe has history of the church and government being very closely intertwined. Let's see. I have no idea. Oh, I'll share with you. I kind of feel bad for him because he just gets himself into situations where he pits, I don't know. There's something off about him. But this person has said multiple, he just shits on people. It's why he's banned here. He's the only preemptive ban that I've done. Let's go. Obviously, keep this between us. I don't want to share that with the rest of the community. I usually don't with bans, but yeah. I don't know what was the quote he said. I didn't hear clearly. Yeah, it has nothing to do with your intelligence. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, just a heads up. Generally, he tends to tame himself in female streamers communities more than male streamers. But I don't know. He's tested that theory of mine. It's hard to talk about religion. A lot of people try to convince you to just believe in whatever they believe in, so there's no constructive conversation. Yeah, and that's the problem. That's the problem right there. That's exactly, yep, that's what I said from the beginning. It's like religious people trying to convince people that aren't religious to be religious, and non-religious people trying to convince people to not be religious. Just trying to prove them wrong. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, yeah, it depends on people have strong beliefs about it. I mean, according to this dude, I should be a genius since I'm atheist, but we all know I'm dumb AF. No, you're just a furry. You're not dumb. Flat Earth conspiracy is going too deep to even try to understand it. Gotcha. I don't know. If I put myself in their shoes, if I don't see it, I just don't think you're going to get very far in life by not conceding assumptions like that. I think you're just broadly categorizing all flat earthers. I think that's also a problem. You're going to have different people that believe different things about it. But I think from what I've heard from different flat earthers, it's more along the lines of like, unless I see it, I'm not going to believe it. And it's almost like a mindset they have. Yep. Yeah, no problem, Zinka. Yeah, there was a couple things. He's been banned from like a ton of communities. Yeah, he made the assumption that like I was doing like a partnership ban with other streamers and that's why I got banned in my community. No, that was a preemptive ban. I wanted him nowhere near it. I can see why anyone could believe a conspiracy, especially when it's delivered in a very eloquent way. Yeah, and that's fair. And I actually think it's fun to explore stuff like that. And I haven't really dove into the flat earth one, but I do think I don't know if I think this. I haven't completely put off Zodiac stuff, more with your Chinese sign. But I haven't completely put that off. I think there's merit in like with certain star alignment, with things that are sent over in the universe, being born on a certain day where things are aligned a little bit differently in the universe that maybe we don't understand. I think it's a possibility. I don't know how likely it is. I don't really go into horoscopes and stuff like that. But like even like judging from like a kind of like what would you call it? Like your moon sign based off of the distance of the moon on that certain day. Because I think our moon is cyclical. Like it follows a pattern, does it not? And your moon is going to be, I don't know much about zodiac stuff. I'm trying to understand it a bit more, but would it not be possible with the moon's position and the gravity that it even just has on Earth to affect you on that certain day that you're born, to not let that affect you at all? I don't know. So I think that's one thing I'm a little bit more open-minded with. I just don't know how much I believe it. I don't, it probably clashes with Christianity. I watch Conspiracy Tube a lot. I think it's fascinating, even if I don't think it is interesting. Yeah. The moon phase you're born during decides whether you like tabs or spaces more. I just don't understand why people would use spaces, that's all. Isn't the moon slowly drifting away? I think I vaguely remember something like that. I have no idea, to be honest. It might be. Oh, like 1 centimeter a year. Man, that was like a really contentious issue with the main character in Silicon Valley. By the way, Silicon Valley was really good. It was really good. I'm surprised I didn't watch that show much sooner. That was such a good show. There's a killer asteroid that might kill us coming our way. I hear that all the time. Yeah, what's the new one? Has a chance of hitting. It's a low percentage, right? What is the next killer asteroid? Next killer asteroid coming our way. 2%? Okay. In 2032. So it's now dropped to 0.28%, not 2%. Don't you think by then, like, we are going to develop technology to be able to break that asteroid up? Were you hoping for it, Zinka? What about the sun ray burst? Living IRL? What? Don't drag us into your fantasies, Zinka. What the hell? Sun ray burst? What is the sun? What is going to kill us? What do you guys think is going to destroy the Earth first? Gamma ray burst. Nukes? I think you're right. That would be my guess. I mean, shit, if our magnetic field reversed like they were talking about, that's apocalyptic, is it not? I don't remember what I looked into that. But I thought that, was it the gamma ray burst from the sun was potentially going to cause a, well, no, that can't be true because when was the last time our poles shifted? Last time poles flipped. 780,000. What happens when that happens? Do volcanoes activate? It could be, oh shit. Yellowstone. Dude, I'm sorry for people like trying to fall asleep. I'm just going over like apocalyptic potentials. I probably shouldn't do that. Yeah, I think the most fear I have is nukes. 100%. Sophia is going to wipe us out. What's Sophia? Oh, robotics. Oh, it could be generative or oh my god, my mind is kaput. Bro, I can't even think. What's the AI that is sentient? What is AI that is sentient? My mind is shutting off. I don't know. Sophia? You think Sophia's sentient? When it comes to killer asteroids, I don't really think about them. We are just one tiny fart from our sun from being extinct. One time. What is the likelihood of the sun farting on us to kill us out? The solar burst won't kill immediately, but it will basically destroy all technology and infrastructure, plus get rid of the ozone layer. The whole thing? Or just holes in it? Yellowstone definitely a threat. Yes, Yellowstone had me spooked a little bit. So what is Sophia? Is she acidic? Oh, yeah. But why, though? Is that, like, because she's sentient or no? Is not sentient. She is a machine that can mimic human-like characteristics, but she doesn't have consciousness or emotions. Why does she have citizenship? She is scary? When do you think sex robots are coming that are sentient? I think that's what programmers really want to know. Do y'all think we're going to get AGI or actually useful quantum chips first? I don't know. I haven't really been following quantum chips. We will probably get AGI in the next 10 years. That's what they want you to think. They made her brothers and sisters too. No, sex bots. Society is already burned. Here's the only argument I have for sex robots. Okay. And tell me why I'm wrong. Okay, so sex chatbots and generative AI will replace. Actually, no, I actually feel bad. It's going to replace OF girls. who already have like the bigger ones already have partner managers talking to you. I think that would make an argument. I would rather have the OF girls than AI do that. I think the AI thing is weirder. But it would replace prostitution. But they're probably going to be expensive, though. Yeah, but they're not useful or do anything practical. What aren't? Sentient sex robots? I don't know, but aren't there sex robots? Yeah, there are sex robots already. Yes. They're both bad. Can we have neither? I agree. But no, we cannot. I think it would just make it worse. There'd be a market for real women. Well, so here's the thing. I think there is such a aversion to the way AI feels when it mimics humanist or human-like traits more and more, where I think AI is not going to replace customer service. I think that was a little bit of a fear, but I think people generally, like most people generally, just have this like weird eerie feeling about AI as it starts mimicking human behavior more and more. So I don't know. I don't think we've reached that point to like really set I don't know what it is, but it's like it's just something that seems to be crawling up in more and more people with AI, where it just feels so unnatural. Like if you were being stared at, you know, kind of like the hairs in the back of your neck stand up, right? You just have this like innate thing in you that's biological that makes you like all of a sudden go into fight or flight mode. And I feel like AI is going to trigger that in a lot more people as it mimics human behavior more and more and more. And I think we're going to see, we're going to have some sort of like major pushback or some revolution. I don't think we've hit that point anywhere close to it, because AI is just not where we thought it would be at this time. But I think we're going to have like a big anti-AI revolution, way more than what we're having right now, way more. AI is uncanny and people don't like it. I think there's just something built into us to like, it's kind of like, there's a mythological creature called the Skin Walker, I think. I don't know if you guys have ever watched videos like that, but if you have, it kind of portrays the Skinwalker as someone that like kind of looks human, but like it almost looks human, but there's just something off, and it's just something so incredibly unsettling about it. And I think that's the way people are going to feel about AI. I bet OF girls already use ChatGPT. It's possible they have a ChatGPT bot. It's very possible. And they just train it off of their own behavior. It'd probably be better than a manager, right? Let's build it? Fuck no. The Wendigo. Okay. Is that what it's called? Is that what the Skinwalker is? Well, with AGI, what jobs would be available? I don't think we're going to know until it happens. I think what jobs wouldn't be available. Answer that first. Wendigo's, it's a native Skinwalker monster. Huh. That's pretty cool. I do like watching stuff like that, though. It is fun, and it kind of like creeps you out. I like mythological creatures like that. That possess humans, causing them to turn into cannibals. That's not what I'm talking about with the Skinwalker, then. I don't think so. That's interesting, though. Now, a Skinwalker will, I believe, essentially, like, it just rips off it kills a person, rips off their skin, and wears their skin. Cryptids. I don't know what those are. Animals or other things that cryptozoologists believe may exist somewhere in the wild. Dude, we're discovering new species every single day. Like, do you guys know how many species we discover every single day? Dude, I want to be in the ocean. I want to discover things in the ocean. I think that'd be so cool. Are the genre? Oh, are mythological monsters Sasquatch or Slender Man? Some stories about Slender Man creep me out. I like them. Hey, what's up, Kelsey? We're talking about mythological creatures. Probably go for a little bit longer. We'll go. Yeah, just a little bit longer. But yeah, we're talking about mythological creatures. But how many new species of animals are discovered every single day? Some of them are weird. $40 to $55 every single day. That's crazy. Yeah, I loved X-Files. Yep, X-Files. Oh, man, it was so good. I loved it when I was younger. Slender Man is amazing. Have you watched Marble Hornets? No, I've never seen that. No. It's an alternative reality to YouTube website. Dude, I wish Backrooms was real. I'm not even joking. I wish Pool Rooms was real. If I were to die, like, I would want to go out getting trapped in the back room. Or no, Pool Rooms. Like, that is my preferred way to die. Most of the north is undiscovered territory. When you go into really cold stuff, yeah. It is, yeah. But the Amazon is crazy, though. Amazon is, like, very much undiscovered territory. It's huge. I love the Wendigo. Yeah, Zinka brought that up. Wendigo. I keep saying Wendigo. I don't think I really looked into Wendigos. Marble Hornets is old YouTube, is it? Backrooms is cool. I love playing games like that. Just like I think it's almost like it quiets my mind to go into the backrooms. It's a little bit creepy, but it's like going through that maze. It just quiets my mind. It's like, imagine, because a lot of your stress comes from your social interactions and how you, like, where your current state is with you in society or your relationships, right? In the back rooms, it's all gone. Everything that, like, stressed you out, like 99.9% of things that stressed you out go away. And it's almost like it's kind of freeing. It's like a release. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's why I like backrooms. Some people find it kind of creepy or eerie. I don't. I find it relaxing. Wendigo. How do you pronounce it? Wendigo, right? Is it Wendigo? There's no way it's Wendigo. There's something really soothing about liminal space. I wonder if like most people find it soothing. But yeah, it is. Oh, it's the second one. Wendigo. Okay, good. I like the suburb liminal spaces a lot. Yeah, Wendigo. Or Wendigo, sorry. Wendigo. I like the suburb liminal spaces a lot. Do you? I don't think I like the suburbia entrance, but when we went through the city and going through some of those houses, I did kind of like that once we got past the first part. You're rolling? I'm going to say it how I want. I don't care. It's Wendigo. Wendigo. There's an N. I think you guys are just misspelling it. It's Wendigo. The Stepford Wife suburb style communities. Oh. I think I know what you're talking about. I could see you very much wanting to live in that reality, Zinka. In a neighborhood like that. Yeah, with the cookie cutter houses, white picket fence. Zinka's right, it's pronounced the second way you said it. Yeah, Wendigo. But yeah, the identical houses with manicured lawns. Yeah. A lot of people like that idea for a house. You know what I like? Like kind of out in the country. Or like, you know, turn an old fire station into an apartment or something like that. I think those are my two preferred. I don't know if I like the cookie cutter placement. Out in the country, I'd be at risk of dying from a Wendigo. But probably not in the city. Are there like any mythological creatures that exist in a city? Because a lot of these are like out in the middle of nowhere, right? Did you see they are making this mall in Rhode Island have apartments on the top floor? Pretty cool. No, I don't think I have. Mall with apartments on top floor. So you basically have people coming into your like front yard all the time. And you have noise and just it's kind of like half open to the public. I don't know if I'd like that. Ninja Turtles, Spencer. Or Spencer. That's true. Ninja Turtles. I like that. But that was more of like a cartoon. That wasn't like a myth. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the closest I can think of. So stoked for the new Dream Core game to come out. What is the new one? Past Suburbia? Dream Core new level. What's the new one coming out? Because the Suburbia one we played... Classrooms. Oh, interesting. I want to see their take on Classrooms. We just played it. We're playing Classrooms right now, but I do want to see their take on it. That's interesting. Well, they claim to have gators in the New York City sewers. I don't think that's a myth. it's New York City, man. Some of the rats have probably evolved into like gators at this point. Would you want to live in New York City? I think I'd rather live in Chicago than New York City. Crime is higher, but I don't like the idea of like trash being piled on the sides of the streets. It just seems dirty. If I move to a big city, it's going to be Miami. Miami's shallow as hell, but it's going to be Miami with money, not without money. You wouldn't want to live in a big city without money. But I think like a semi-big city is probably what I would want to aim for, which is why I think I would like Austin. Or even Houston. I did not know Houston was on the ocean. No way. I'd live in New York. Rats everywhere. Yeah, it's infested with rats. A city, but not New York. Why not New York? I don't think it's run very well, honestly. I've never lived there, though. I just hear things. But I don't think Chicago is run the greatest. I mean, New York City does have a lower crime rate than... like, overall, it has a lower crime rate. New York City. Crime rate compared to Chicago. Like, not even violent crimes, right? Yeah, Chicago is always really high. That's like the main reason not to live in Chicago. New York City does seem gross. And you get really tiny apartments and living spaces for way higher than Chicago prices. It's crazy. Random question. What have you seen as the average starting salary? It depends on what you're going for, Corrales. Different, like, you know, PHP is going to be very different than JavaScript. If you're working with like front end versus like even like a Python backend, it's going to be different. What I would do is look at a Glassdoor, and it's going to differ dependent on area and city. You're looking for a general answer, but there isn't one. You want to look at location, the amount of experience or years you have, so it's going to be 0, right? And then what stack are you working with? Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Yeah, we're talking Manhattan. You could probably get up to that price. Not a closet, but you're paying like for a 1-bedroom like $3,000 for a small apartment in Manhattan, like a really small apartment, probably like a really small studio. Could you even in downtown Manhattan? You're not. I don't know. Obviously, there are other places to live besides downtown Manhattan, but I don't know. You're not going to get much for it. All right, I got to cut it here. I got to prepare a video for tomorrow. Good conversation overall. And again, like I said, I think, and this is why I don't specifically ban religion or spirituality in my community, because we just need to time out or get rid of people that are toxic on both sides. And that's it. I think we can have these conversations and not be dicks about it. Politics, on the other hand, I don't know. That's why I usually don't dive into that on stream. So, but I think we can open it up for spiritual things. But either way, I appreciate everyone having like a constructive conversation, especially on Twitch. You guys were awesome with that, so I do appreciate that. You were very respectful. But yeah, anyways, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling. Funny, politics is more toxic than religion. No, I expect it to be. Religion talk. I think religion talk. It's unfortunate that politics is more toxic, but I think religion is interesting. And as long as you have a little, literally, as long as you go into it and you both can agree on a common ground that neither of us know what the hell is going to happen to us after we die, like, start with that common ground. It's something like every humble person can get on board with. And it's just going to shove arrogant people away. And that's awesome. You don't want to talk with arrogant people about it. So, but I think that's what it is. Politics is a whole other animal, though. Definitely. All right, cool. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Central Time. We're either doing Boot.dev or we're doing Angular. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care. Have a good one.